What is going on, everybody? And holy shit, did I have an intense little debate right now. And it's going to continue over here. And I can't wait. But let's get this shit going.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your main man, Boyz4Life, coming at you with another video. Everyone thinks I'm just a crazy Cowboy fan, but has no idea what he's talking about. When more often than not, I'm right. I go into Cool Cat Connor's live stream, his podcast with Notion, Bird Gang 31, and himself. And guess what? I turned that live stream into a Boyz4Life live stream. Congratulations on beating a horrible Falcons team. Congratulations. Oh my God. Let me paint you a picture real quick. Let me paint you a picture real quick. And they start talking about the champ. They start talking about me. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for tonight. I'm out.
What's up, everyone? I didn't know that this was gonna be an eventful night the way it's turning out to be, but it's so much fun. It's so much fun doing this. I'm waiting for Eagle Champ to unblock me on Twitter so that way I can go ahead and do this, because guess what, homies? We are going to be doing this video. And yeah, I can't wait. AK, you missed it, bro. You missed it, homie. You missed it. I spent about an hour on Eagles Champ live, or what? No, about 45 minutes or so. And this dude got smoked. This dude got roasted. This guy, I mean, to be honest with you, I honestly think he's that dumb. I really do. Now, I promised him that, you know, I would let him explain things, right? When he'd come onto this. Alpha Dog block you. Bro, did you not just see what I did to Mr. Alpha Dog? Did y'all not just see that? Bro, I just spent the last 45 minutes on his stream destroying him. That shit was crazy. What up, Matthew? Get him on your live for that, like your finest with him. Yeah, I'm waiting for him. Thank you for covering for me, Boyz4Life. I couldn't debate him because I was in a long ass Chipotle line and I had to run to. I don't even know what the fuck Wawa is, but it's all good. It's all good, man. Eagles hot doo doo. Yep. This is gonna be good. I can't wait. This is gonna be, what up, Dante? This is gonna be so much fun. What's good? I was trying to get him to unblock me, but he skipped my comment. That's crazy. What's up? Yeah, bro, go where he's at and then go to when I come in. This shit was fucking hilarious.
Man, y'all crazy, man, over there, man. That's crazy.
Bro. Did he deleted his stream? Are you serious? There's no way he deleted his stream. Oh my God, he's coming in here. I told him to come in here. I told him I would let him speak and try to. Dude, that guy talks in circles. Dude, I've never been so mad talking to someone to try to explain something to him. It was so much. It was funny because you had Simus in there talking about he's doing this on purpose, and I was like, I don't think he's doing this on purpose. I think he's actually that dumb. I really do.
Man, that was fire, man. That mess was crazy, man. That mess was crazy right there. I mean, the ACL part, y'all went about 15 minutes about the ACL.
Dude, I was trying to, he kept saying, I didn't say that. I was like, are you dumb? Did we not just see? I did 5 videos where you said it takes 2 to 3 years to do this fucking shit. Holy shit. I didn't say that. And then he's trying to move the goalpost where, he's not going to be back till November? I didn't know that. So now he's really not going to be. I was like, Oh my God, bro.
I dropped it in the chat and I try to let him know, like, you're basically not saying he's gonna be his old self. He's gonna put up the performance, but he's gonna be ready. But he's good. He's good enough to play. He's good enough to play. So he fully has recovered from the ACL injury. If he didn't recover, he wouldn't be playing out there on the field.
That's what I tried saying. I was like, bro, so you're telling me that professional doctors are going to let someone go out there and play when they're not 100% healthy?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
I got a guy like that at training camp. John Mechie, he going to be ready on opening day. He not doing no OTAs workout. He going to be ready on opening day because he tore his ACL in the national championship game, I believe. He tore his ACL up in the national championship game. So he's going to be ready by opening day. He's not going to be playing OTAs. He going to be ready by that time.
Yeah, dude, that shit fucking cracked me up. Like, I was getting a bit heated in there because he just it really was making me mad. It really was, because I'm over here trying to explain it to him and he's like, no, I didn't say that. No. What do you mean? You literally just said that 5 seconds ago, homie. But I'm waiting for him to, what's his MBY? What's his?
I think it's you got him on Instagram or Twitter.
Twitter. Yeah,
I think it's last time I got his Instagram. I think it's Ryan. I think it's Ryan EC1. I think there you go right there. I believe. There you go right there.
What is it?
I think it's Ryan EC1. I got him on Instagram. I don't got him on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I don't have a Twitter. I mean Instagram, so I wouldn't know. EC1. Let me see if it comes up. Nope. I know it's like Mob something. MYOB. This is not him, is it?
Which one?
Oh, this is him.
So I don't know.
No. He changed his shit. Yeah. Following. Okay. Now since I'm following him. Oh, I can't even fucking message him.
301 Cowboy, what up, man?
I can't even fucking tell him. I don't know. I can't even message him because he's not following back, so I can't send him anything.
Want me to send it to him? I got it in a Twitter thing. I can copy it and paste it and send it to his IG if you want to. I can copy.
Yeah, send it to his IG. That's fine.
Yeah, I can copy and paste it because I got him on IG.
Okay, he just fucking messaged me. Let me see something here. Hold on.
I'm about to get ready to get up out of here. I'm gonna still be watching it because I got the Astros game to do in a second.
Okay. Okay. Right. Is that? Yep, there he is. Okay, I'm waiting for him to join. Let's see, guys. This is gonna continue. So much fun. Y'all don't have a Wawa from where? No, I don't even know what the fuck a Wawa is. I've only ever seen a Wawa in Philly and Florida. What the fuck is a Wawa? All right, man. You ready?
Ready when you are.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to do.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
So let me turn this comment off. Is this? Yeah. Okay. So, okay. We're going to start off with, I'm only going to put, I'm going to need you to tell me what you meant here. I'm going to play the video and I'm going to share this one. We're going to go full live. I'm going to skip to where you said all right. Well, you said the 2 years. So let's go. Hold on. Let's take this off.
Just go to my videos and just play it. I didn't delete it out. But he's coming off there. That takes 2 to 3 years to recover from.
What's going on? So what did you mean by that? 2 to 3 years to recover from?
So when I was trying to say earlier, right, and that was Michael Gallup will be back this year. I'm trying to say sometimes your confidence, what I should have said was the confidence of Michael Gallup, the fact that he ain't going to have training camp and OTAs. And you just said on my other stream, November. So he's not going to be that player that we saw last year. He'll play with physical. He'll be physical and all that shit. He just won't be the Michael Gallup that you used to seeing until he gets his confidence back. And that's all I'm saying. Like, I think he'll play, and I think there will be some, rust with him a little bit, but then he'll be fine. But next year, the following year, you'll see that guy where there's nothing he missed a beat with. Like, he'll be back to what he used. Like, he'll be back, but his confidence will be he'll be a little rusty, and he'll be back to what he used to be this year with playing good. Is just he'll be rusty. What I should have said. 2 to 3 years. I don't know what I was saying. I was saying that because I was reading an article, and depending, like, for example, Carson Wentz. I'm not saying it's Michael Gallup, but to me, it at least takes 2 or 3 years for him, because I didn't think even 2018 he was back. 2019 I saw a different Carson Wentz. Sometimes you don't get back to what you used to be off an ACL. But Michael Gallup should be back. It's just he's going to be rusty, and I think the next year, the following year, because it's pretty much he's going to be back off the ACL injury, and he's going to play, but he's not going to be the impact player that you want him to be. And I think a lot of people are holding expectations that he's going to be this guy that you saw where he's able to, he don't nothing's wrong with him. Like, he'll play, but he's going to have limitations. That's all I'm saying. His confidence is going to be a little shot, not confidence. My fault. He's going to be a little rusty, and once he gets his feet back, he should be fine. But after 2023, you'll see the old Michael Gallup. That's what I'm saying. But
what I was trying to explain to you earlier, and then I'm not getting up there. I'm like, what I was trying to explain to you.
Is your volume up a little bit? Because my volume, I hear you.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. No, your volume's fine over here. I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to explain to you, man, and this is, what I'm trying to explain to you is that you weren't saying things like that. When I'm making my videos and I'm talking and I'm making fun of you about that stuff, because you said 2 to 3 years for him to fully get healthy, fully recover. That's what you were saying. And ACL injuries don't take that long, right? Now, what you're describing to me now is him being mentally ready and game ready. Completely different things than him being actually physically ready to play, which he will be. He will be 100% fine to play. Now, whether it's a mental thing and he's not game ready or he is scared because
that's what I was trying to say.
That is something completely different. And then the article that you tried to bring up and you tried to quote never talked about mentally being ready, never talked about recovery time or anything like that. And that's what I was trying to explain to you over there in your stream. But for whatever reason, you were not understanding that. And I don't understand why. It seems like you were, I'm not saying you were trying to piss me off on purpose, but
no. When you were screaming at me, I was trying to get a word out because I ain't gonna lie to you. Like sometimes when people scream at me, I get a little nervous where I have to say a word out, and sometimes I say things that I don't mean to say. Like you'll be like, what do you mean by that? And I don't really mean to say, because I'm trying to get a word out because you were screaming at me and I was trying to get my word out. So, and then I'm making mistakes because I'm panicking to say a word because I don't want to embarrass myself, but that's what I was trying to say. Sometimes I think I sometimes use words wrong in wrong context, if that makes sense. Like
it does, and I know you do that.
And that is my fault. I mean to say it that way, and that's something I can learn and I'll get better at, and that's definitely I can work on. I'm all for improving, with those stuff, because if that's something I got to work on, I'm all for it.
But also
I'm not going to act like I'm perfect because I'm not. But.
Yeah, no, I got you. But another thing that was also making me mad is because you would say something and then you turn around and say, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. That was pissing me off. That was making me sad. That was pissing me off because you kept saying, I didn't say that. I never said that, when you literally had just said it. Like the whole and the thing about when I kept asking about 2 to 3 years, you were dancing around the whole question. You wouldn't say recovery because that's what you said. and that's what I was trying to get you to say, and you just didn't want to say it. So it was fucking pissing me off. You're trying to
I didn't know how to respond, because like I said, like when somebody, like, I'm not saying you mean to scream at me, but when anybody screams at me, I don't do good with that. I don't like people screaming at me. Hell, I mean, like, that's why, like, you remember I told you, like, and you don't like to say it, but I you don't count it as a disability, but that is, I don't do good with conflict, and I start, that's when you see it. That's part of it, is when, because I start losing it too, because it's like, okay, they're screaming at me. Okay, let me panic, and that's when you start me seeing stuff, because I start saying stuff, because it's part of, like, that's why a lot of times they don't, like, people don't scream at me, because I don't do well with screaming, and that's why like, I'm not saying high functioning disability. It's not a physical disability. It's nothing, but I have it, and I take meds for it. But my anxiety goes up and all that shit. I don't care what these comments says. They don't know me personally. They just know me from a YouTube standpoint. But I do have it. It is what it is. I'm not gonna make excuses, because I don't even like using my disability. Like, every time I go to the job, I don't like using it. It makes me feel like an outcast, and that's why. But that's just me, getting anxiety, just trying to get a word out, and that's why I was saying a lot of stupid shit, which is my fault. I mean, hell, I mean, if I do that, I mean, I'm definitely gonna work on that, because that's something I can improve. Some things I say, I don't use in the right context. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I got you. Okay, so I know this is my live and I can add anyone I want, but I'm asking you, there's some people that want to come in here. Do you mind if they come in?
Depends who it is, and
Well, I
like,
mean,
they're gonna
I mean, I will regulate it, but it's AK, Mitch wants to come in, and 301 wants to come in.
no, because I know what they're gonna say. They're gonna curse me out. I know how they rock. Come on. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna curse me out, and they're gonna call me names also. I don't got listen, I don't got time for drama. I came here to try
You
to
didn't have
clear my name.
you didn't have time for drama until I got on that live and we had our
Yeah.
little debate, little thing there because
You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to apologize for any misunderstanding that, sometimes my words come out wrong, and I try to mean something, but it doesn't. No.
So I'm gonna tell you this. This is just a word of advice. When you say things or you're doing something
Mhm.
because you have that condition or whatever it is that you have, rewatch what you or I know and you can't really do it with the lives, but when you do a video, rewatch what you say, and if it doesn't come across as um what you think it sounded to mean, try to think of a way to reword it, because the
Mhm.
way you say a lot of things come out completely wrong, and people um do what I do, make fun, troll, do whatever thing. And look, these guys are saying they won't curse you out, they will show respect to you, and if they come in here. 301, I know 301's not going to do nothing to you.
No, I
So,
debated them a while ago, which was cool to have a football conversation. No, like, this is between you and I,
mhm.
and I want to clear my name, because that way we're on the same page. You know, Another time they can definitely invite me on their channel. I'll clear my name too, but I just wanted you and I, because that way, because then I start panicking too, and I say a lot of stupid shit when there's so much pressure on me. So this pretty
Now,
much is
now I
just you and
have
I.
been told. Now I have been told by some people that you were talking a little bit and running your mouth. When I went into Bird Gang's 31's channel, you were telling some people that I had nothing to say, that I wasn't saying nothing to you, and for
About
me,
what?
yeah, well, because at that point you kept telling me and saying things that I don't want to debate you, that you'll run circles around all of us Cowboy fans or some Eagle content
Come
creator. So
home.
I went, I
Yes.
ended my live stream. I ended my live stream that night because I saw you in there and I wanted to go in there and see what
Which
you would
which
do.
which day?
The one where you went
The one we
where
just
you were
had
in Bird
before?
Gang. No, the one that you were in Bird Gang's channel a couple nights ago, where it was Bird Gang, where you got muted because you kept yelling. It was me,
No,
you, Bird Gang.
let me say this. My microphone, the one I had earlier, I had to put this on, because the one I have earbuds. sometimes the earbuds don't work properly, and I don't know what's up with it, but my settings don't work with these earbuds. I think I had these can't find them, but there were earbuds and they weren't working. I just got new earbuds. These are new, but there's
No,
ones where I had
I
them
understand that.
attached.
I
So
saw
my microphone
when
wasn't
you.
working.
No, I get it, but I saw you trying to speak, and then your headphones weren't working. But when I was asked questions, you kept
Mhm.
trying to talk over me and
Yeah,
yell and say
because
things about the Cowboys when I wasn't there to try to debate you or say anything to you because it wasn't my live, it wasn't my stream. I was showing proper etiquette and just being chill with it. That's what I was doing.
yeah, I
That's why
was
you
trying to
got
say
muted a
something
few
because
times.
I couldn't even talk. Like literally, my headphones was.
I understand that, but when they're asking me questions, you were yelling over me, talking crap about saying whatever you were saying about the Cowboys, because this
I
was
was
this
saying
was a
Dak
few
was
days ago,
trash.
right? Huh?
I was saying Dak was trash. The same things I've been saying. I mean, probably I
And
don't
I understand
remember.
that, but how can you say
You
how can
might.
you say
You
Dak?
want to
How can you
replay
say?
it? You want to replay it?
I mean, I got to go back and find it and figure out
It's Bird
where
Game
that. I mean,
31
to be honest,
last
with you,
year.
I mean, I know where it's at, but I would have to actually uh go find where you were saying this stuff.
It should be
Because
recent because
that wasn't the point I was trying to get at. Um,
which live stream
it,
was it? Was it when was I in the chat or was I
no,
on the
you were
stream?
in the stream and your mic wasn't working.
Yeah, that I was trying to say, can everybody hear me? Because I really couldn't hear. I didn't know. I
No,
didn't
you
know
weren't
it was
just
on.
saying that. You weren't just saying that. You were. I was asked questions and you were trying to yell and talk over me and talk
Yeah,
shit
no.
about the Cowboys, which that's fine and you can do. That's all great and dandy. Do what you got to do. I mean, I just shut you up on your channel, but when
Yeah,
they were
you didn't
asking
shut me up on my channel. You got me
you
with the Michael
were
Gallup. You got me with the
you
Michael
what?
Gallup, but the Michael Gallup was
I
the only
got
thing
you
you
with
got me
Michael
on.
Gallup. I got you with Darius Slay. I got you with a lot of
No, you
things.
didn't. I still think the way I think with Darius Slay. Now you got me on the
Of
Michael
course you
Gallup.
do.
You made me
You're
rethink
gonna
that.
think that way because you're an Eagles fan. You're gonna think that way. But
But
like I'm
but
saying,
but here's the
numbers
thing.
don't lie.
Would you think? But numbers don't lie. But production matters. And my thing with Darius Slay is to me a better cornerback than Diggs. Diggs has a lot of interceptions, but
Uh-huh.
again, Michael Parsons also is the guy who gets a lot of them to help. Like here we go again. Diggs get a lot of interceptions because Michael Parsons gets pressure on the quarterbacks. If you look at so many games, Michael Parsons gets home. When Michael Parsons gets home, Diggs is able to get easy interceptions because the ball is literally thrown as the quarterback is getting hit
If
by Michael
if if
Parsons.
if Diggs, I mean, if Parsons gets home, that means that's a sack and the ball never came out of the quarterback's hand for the most part. And if it does come out of his hand, it's not going to where Diggs is at. It's not getting that far. And I would venture to say that Trayvon Diggs' interceptions came a lot of when there was open pockets. There
Mm.
wasn't a lot of pressure. Maybe the pockets were closing, but it wasn't a lot. And it wasn't Parsons making this big old impact that caused Diggs to have interceptions. No. What I'm telling you is that numbers don't lie. Yes, Diggs gave up 907 yards last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he is a risk taker and he bites on the go route a little bit. But if you look at his total the whole year, I think he had let me see. What did I tell you Diggs Slay had as far as targets his way? 85. While Diggs had almost 20 more targets thrown his way.
How many times did
And
Darius Slay get burnt?
and you want to know how many completions he gave up opposed to Diggs with 20 more targets thrown his way? 4 extra more completions
Against
than
who?
what Diggs did. Huh?
Against who? Which year? This year?
Last
The
year.
last year that we saw?
This past year. Yes.
I
Trayvon Diggs
mean,
had 103 yards. I mean, I'm sorry, 103 targets thrown his way, and he only gave up 54 completions. While Slay, on the other hand, had 85 targets thrown his way and gave up 50 completions with having 3 interceptions, while Diggs had 11. I will
so
take Diggs
you want me
any
you want me
day.
to tell you why that was the case? Because if you look at, let's be real, Jonathan Gannon and Dan Quinn are two different corners. Like I like Dan Quinn. I would take him over Jonathan Gannon. But Dan Quinn is a guy that I think put Diggs in a good position. to get those interceptions. And it's also, I mean, like again, I mean, that pass rush that you had was dominant. We weren't getting pressure since Brandon Graham went down. And Diggs, to me, is a guy that if you can beat him, especially with a route, he gets cooked. Now, there's a lot of times where quarterbacks would throw it to Diggs' way. I mean, there were some balls where quarterbacks were throwing literally to Diggs. Diggs was getting so many picks towards, like, literally right to him. Darius Slay was going against receivers, and he was shutting them down when Jonathan Gann was playing 15 yards off the football. So, I mean, if you put, like I keep on saying, if you put Slay on Dan Quinn's defense, I guarantee he would have the exact same amount as Diggs. I'm not saying Diggs is bad. I like Diggs. But I think Darius Slay is a better cornerback than Diggs because of the fact that he's able to lock down his man and is able to use his quarterback instincts. Diggs relies on reading the one reaction and rely on what he sees. And if he doesn't see that, it's good night for him. Darius Slay is able to read the quarterback's eyes and make plays. I've seen a lot of times where Diggs jumps the route and he's able to get the interception. Like, he's a good player. But I think Darius Slay is more experienced. I think Darius Slay is a better cornerback because of the fact that he's able to take Jonathan Gannon's system and become successful. Like, I just think that Jonathan Gannon was way worse. You can't lie that was worse than Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is a better defense corner, hands down, than Jonathan Gannon. And Jonathan Gannon, when he put Darius Slay man-to-man on a receiver, when he wasn't 10 yards off the football, Darius Slay locked the receiver down. Yes, Darius Slay don't get a lot of picks, but sometimes in the cornerbacks in the National Football League, you don't need a lot of picks. You just do your job, and he has done that. He's locked down the receivers, and he's held them to minimum yardage. I think he held Mike Evans, I believe, the same as Diggs, to minimum yardage. Correct me if I'm wrong. He held players like Michael Thomas. I believe. Did Michael Thomas play this year? No, wait, he did, didn't he? He didn't play against the Eagles.
Michael
I'm
Thomas.
thinking I'm thinking last year. My fault. No, let me stay on top of it this year.
You said
Mike Evans, he locked down. He locked down receivers like Terry McLaurin. He's locked down receivers like Amari Cooper. He's locked down receivers like who else? We played against the any cornerback, only receivers he got torched really was Adams and DK Metcalf, but pretty much he's done his job. Yes, does Diggs have a lot of interceptions? Yes. But Darius Slay is not all about interceptions. He's all about shutting down his man.
You're talking he got cooked against Diggs, not Diggs, DK and who else?
Jim Schwartz. Yeah.
Okay, so you're talking
this
2
year
years
he didn't
ago.
get cooked that much.
You're talking 2 years ago when Darius Slay was absolutely atrocious 2 years ago in 2020 when he gave up.
It was his first year with Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz wasn't a good team.
When he gave up 851 yards that year. Gave up. Yeah, Seattle. He gave up 168 yards, and against Green Bay, he gave up 121. Yeah, and this past year, he didn't give up numbers like that. You're right, but that's because they were playing off the ball and quarterbacks were taking underneath throw, because that's the kind of coverage your defense plays when it comes to DBs. That's what they all play.
But a lot of times when you notice, like when receivers were burning or corners, it wasn't Diggs, it was Steven Nelson. And I ain't gonna lie to you,
Diggs isn't on your team, so.
No, I'm not talking about Diggs. I'm talking about they weren't burning Slay. They were burning Nelson a lot of times. Diggs was pretty much the only cornerback to me that the Cowboys had, because I didn't. You say Anthony Brown was good, but I saw him get torched a lot. I saw Cowboy fans last year complain that he was trash, that they wanted him gone, and you're sitting there. I don't know if you said it. Let me know if I'm correct, but didn't you say he was good last year, Anthony Brown?
Yeah, he was good last year.
But there was a lot of Cowboy fans last year that were telling me he was trash, that they wanted him off the damn team.
I've been saying he was trash because last year was the only bad year. The only good year he's had since being a Cowboy, in my opinion. I mean,
And you say you would put him with Devontae Smith. Is that what you said?
if he's
You think
playing the
that
way he played last year, yes. You want to know why? And I'll tell you why. Give me a
why is
second.
that?
I had his stats up here the other day. He has a 53.3% completion rating against him. He had, oh, that's right. He had 19 more targets thrown to him than Diggs, and Diggs had 103. So that makes it 122 targets thrown Anthony Brown's way, and he only gave up 65. Right? That's all he gave up. Yeah, he gave up 836 yards last year. He also had 3 interceptions. I think one was a pick six. But his completion rate against him isn't very high. He had two really bad games, and that was against 3 really bad games. If you count the penalties in the Raiders games, I think he had like 6 or some crazy number of penalties. But that game, on pure defense without the penalties, he only gave up 33 yards that game, right? And then the 2 other games where he played really bad was Carolina and the first game of the season, which was Tampa. He had 127. Anything after that, he's not giving up no more than 75 yards. That's the next highest number that he's given up.
Well, let me say why I think Devontae Smith. You also got to understand. I mean, you do got Quez Watkins, but Devontae Smith pretty much was the only receiver that Jalen Hurts had. I mean, if you count as Quez Watkins as a guy that you could rely on, I mean, he was okay, but he wasn't Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith was his best weapon. Jalen Rager wasn't nothing. And my problem was what I was trying to say in my other stream was they didn't use Devontae Smith as a number one. If you saw many times they used more Rager. I mean, every play pretty much was for Jalen Rager. They used Devontae Smith as just another receiver. They didn't use him as what they used Jalen Rager. They were throwing to Jalen Rager. I mean, how many times we saw Devontae Smith? I saw personally in games where he was getting frustrated that he didn't get the ball. And now you got a compliment piece.
That's because Hurts didn't see him open. That's why.
Well, I mean, if you go back, Hurts was throwing the balls in right places. I mean, Jalen Rager had 2 drop balls in New York Giants. Yes, he was terrible, but when he had to come through, he was throwing the ball perfectly in Jalen Rager's hands. Jalen Rager just drops it, and then Quez Watkins had a ball where he dropped it in Denver, and then there was another incident, I believe it was Washington, where Dallas Goedert had the ball popped off his foot in for an interception. I mean, there was many times we had opportunities to win games. Even the Cowboys game, we weren't even. I don't like make excuses. You did win that game, but we weren't even running the football. We were not the same team that we saw down the road. We didn't even have a running game. I knew we were going to lose that game. You know how I knew we were going to lose that game last year? Because we weren't even running the ball. Our identity that year was running the ball.
You were trying to force the ball. You were throwing the ball and trying to be forced.
I know. I didn't know why we did that.
Another point I wanted to bring up in your live stream. But first, before we go on to that, you're telling me that Jalen Rager was used as the number one more so than Devontae Smith. And explain to me why Jalen Rager only had 57 targets to him last year.
Because he sucks. He sucks.
Okay, but you're telling me that they used him as a number one when you have Devontae Smith, who got double the targets last year.
If you watch the Eagles games, they were using Jalen Rager in jet sweeps. They were using him like he was more of the number one because if you look at it,
jet sweeps don't make you a number one.
Well,
target.
Can I finish?
Receiver.
Can I finish real quick?
All right, go.
If you watch a lot of the 360 Eagles, even Brian Baldwin broke it down. Jalen Rager was getting so many opportunities to get open, and they were throwing to him. Like I see many times where you look at the playoff game versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Many times they even give Devontae Smith the ball. They weren't even giving him a chance to pretty much stand the game. And when he got the ball, he was producing. If you give Devontae Smith that exact same amounts that Jalen Rager had, look at Jalen Rager with the Giants. Devontae Smith don't drop those 2 balls. I don't think he would. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that they relied on Jalen Rager more, I mean, they gave the exact same plays to Jalen Rager that they had. It looked like to me when I was watching the games with my eyes, corner of my eyes, I saw a lot of plays meant for Jalen Rager than I saw for Devontae Smith. I mean, there was many plays for Jalen Rager that they literally scrimmaged up, not scrimmaged up. They literally made for Jalen Rager and there was none for Devontae Smith. Yeah, Devontae Smith will get open, but they were putting Jalen Reagor more and more into the game, and they were trying to get him more and more. They were trying to get him more and more involved, I would say, than Devontae Smith. And perfect
If
example
you
was
look,
the Giants game. He dropped
if you
2
look at,
balls where Devontae wanted to be the guy that catches it.
well, if you look at
My
the
fault.
breakdown of Rager
Huh?
and Smith in those 2 games against the Giants, they both had 11 targets. Both of them did. So they got used the same. And then if you're talking about them, if they had used Smith just as much as they did Rager in the Tampa game, things would have been different. Rager only got 3 targets and only caught one of those
Yeah,
targets.
because he's horrible. I mean, I
No,
would
I
give those.
understand that. I understand that. But what you're saying is that if they gave Rager the same amount of attention as they did, if they gave Devontae Smith the same amount of targets as they did Rager, things would have been different. You know that Devontae Smith had 11 targets in the Tampa game while Rager only had 3?
You want to know why? Because they weren't getting him involved. If you watch the game, a lot of times Jalen Reagor was he couldn't even beat a third string corner. There's literally a play where.
But you just said that they weren't using Devontae Smith as a number 1.
They weren't.
And then then explain to me why Rager, and you're saying they use Rager as a number 1 more. Then explain to me why in the playoff game, Devontae Smith has 11 targets thrown his way and Jalen Rager only had 3.
I mean, if you look at the end of the game, he was getting those targets, but in the first beginning, they weren't using him.
No one was. Nobody was. It
and
wasn't.
They should have. But he was their best player.
It wasn't because they were using Rager more because they didn't use Rager more. It's because y'all were trying to run the ball. Because guess what? You were the lead. You were one. When y'all started running the ball, y'all were the NFL's leading rusher. Why? Because of your quarterback, not because of your running back. And that's what I'm saying to you. That's what I want to try to say to you in your live stream. Just because you add AJ Brown doesn't mean much because you are a running team. And where did AJ Brown come from? A running team with a better quarterback. Tannehill is a better quarterback than what Jalen Hurts is at this time, which is why he was able to get 1,000 yards, get 800 yards last year. Now you're telling me with a guy who needs to take leaps and bounds, who needs to work on his game, who needs to work on his accuracy, his passing, his arm strength, all this stuff. You really think that AJ Brown, coming in here with a lesser quarterback who couldn't get his number 1, Devontae Smith, 1,000 yards, that all of a sudden these 2 guys are now going to have 1,000 yards and y'all going to be this one great offense when Jalen Hurts cannot throw and he predicates his skill set, his running off of his offensive play based off of his running.
Can I respond?
Yeah, go.
Jalen Hurts also knows AJ Brown personally, and they have worked out off the field. Okay, so they already have a bond. All right. So it's not like AJ Brown's coming into a new system. He's coming into where Jalen Hurts really knows him. They worked out. They play football with each other. Hell, he goes to the dude is so it's like they're cousins or everything because they go to parties together. They're at Disney together. His kid knows him. Jalen Hurts goes with AJ Brown everywhere. They were just at a recent story. They were just at they were just playing. I think what was it? What were they doing? Were they doing bowling or something like that? They were doing something. They were just with each other again. So now they got the chemistry down, right? They did practice before. Listen, AJ Brown knows what Jalen Hurts is good at. And yes, does Jalen Hurts have to work on his accuracy? Absolutely. You know what? He's a young quarterback. He's a 2nd round pick that was a project. I knew he was a project. And that's why I didn't expect him to be all this before. Like last year, I had a high expectation for Jalen. I ain't gonna lie. I was very, very high on Jalen Hurts coming out. I thought he was going to be good. But now I realize that, listen, they gave him everything. If he don't work out, then he don't work out. But I expect him to take a jump up because of the fact that you gave him AJ Brown. Let's not act like AJ Brown didn't really make Ryan. Like Ryan Tannehill to me is a guy that AJ Brown to me was a guy that made Ryan Tannehill along with Derrick Henry, right? Because I think that Ryan Tannehill was very much of a factor in why AJ Brown was my opinion, AJ Brown made Ryan Tannehill because I don't think Ryan Tannehill really made AJ Brown. AJ Brown is just a dynamic player, physical player that's going to help. When Jalen Hurts needs a big play, AJ Brown is that dude. I mean, this guy is fast. He also is a guy who can get down and make these 50-50 catches. If you remember right, this was a guy who loved a big target like Alshon Jeffrey. So you add him, and you add his second year. Let's not act like Devontae Smith is trash. And, I'm not saying you said it, but I'm just saying, this guy literally, I mean, you want to talk about a guy that they didn't involve in. They were literally involved in him when he had a pass Deshaun Jackson's rookie season in yards, I believe, right? They were using him more of a number one receiver in that game. But you're telling me only how many catches Devontae Smith had in Tampa Bay?
Yeah, well, Devontae Smith had 11 targets.
11 targets.
Yeah.
And how many Jalen Reagor have in the beginning?
And he had 4 receptions. So he only caught the ball 4 times out of 11 times thrown to him. And Jalen Reagor had 3 targets to him, and he only caught 1.
Because Jalen Reagor wasn't getting open. And the fact that they listen, they literally are. Jalen Reagor's a first round pick. So obviously they're going to try to they wanted to get him more involved in the game. They really should have gave Devontae Smith more involved in the game because I knew Jalen Reagor wasn't all that.
They did. What are you talking about? They did.
They didn't give hold on. They didn't give Devontae Smith enough opportunities. I've seen many times where Devontae Smith was getting less yards in the game because they weren't giving him the ball enough. They were
completely different. Yards are completely different than getting yourself involved in the game.
If they made Devontae Smith a full receiver at number one, he would have more yards.
Then you tell me how many targets Devontae Smith should have had for you to be satisfied for him to be involved enough. Because 11 targets is quite a bit. That means they targeted. They threw the ball his way 11 times.
And he caught most of every one of them. He caught most.
Did you just hear what I just said?
Yeah.
Out of 11 balls thrown his way, he caught 4.
He caught 4.
Yes. 4. He caught the ball 4 times in that Tampa game.
Out of 11.
Yes.
Because it was during pretty much the end of the game. They weren't getting him involved until pretty much the end of the game. They didn't start Devontae Smith off. It's not like they were using him at all. They used him towards the end of the game. And pretty much the time is running out. And he caught the last touchdown pretty much to not even to score, but to make it interesting. But if you remember right, if you saw Devontae was upset because Jalen Reagor was pretty much getting all the looks. And they weren't giving him enough involvement.
Bro, listen to me. Before I get upset, before I start yelling, because I don't want to freak you out. Before I freak you out, not get upset. Before I start yelling, and
Can I explain before you get upset? Before you get upset? Let me explain before you get upset. I'm saying.
How can you sit here and tell me that Jalen Reagor was more involved when throughout the whole game against Tampa, he had 3 balls thrown his way? 3.
He didn't get open. He didn't get open. He couldn't even beat his man.
So then how can you tell me that Reagor got most of the looks? How can you say that? That doesn't make any sense, dude.
I know it don't make sense, but the coach decided to do that. That's how they played. There's nothing I could say. That's how they did it. They didn't even run the ball that much in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game in the playoffs. It was mostly throw it to either Reagor or Watkins. And they didn't even get Watkins involved. Mostly it was Reagor. But Reagor could not beat his man. There's
how
literally.
Can you sit there and say that they mainly threw Watkins the ball, but then they didn't get him involved. That doesn't make sense, bro. That makes no sense whatsoever from what you just said.
They literally were trying to get Reagor involved so much because he was a first round pick, and you're not going to allow your first round pick.
So is Devontae Smith, dude.
But they didn't use him. But here's the thing, and it's what I'm trying to say. They didn't use Devontae Smith as the number one. They used Reagor more than Devontae Smith. If you watch the games a lot, they were trying to get Jalen Reagor involved a lot of games. And they were scrimming up plays for him, especially for Reagor. They didn't use a lot for Devontae. They didn't use scrimming up plays for Devontae Smith. A lot of times those balls went to Jalen Reagor. Devontae Smith only got less yards, and unfortunately, he got 11 balls. Probably some of them he caught, some of them he dropped. I don't know, but
Yeah, he
they were
caught 4
used,
of those balls out of the 11.
and a lot of
Yeah.
them were touchdowns when we needed them. The Panthers game was a touchdown to tie the game.
Bro. I'm talking about the Tampa game.
Oh, you mean the
Point
playoff
blank.
game where
Okay,
they pretty much didn't get him involved into the last minute of the game?
You want to talk about overall the whole season? Like I told you. Okay, I'm gonna explain it again.
I mean, if you talk about the last game of the playoffs, my fault. I don't mean to interrupt. If you talk about the last game of the playoffs, they didn't get him involved until pretty much the last game. They weren't targeting. Devontae Smith literally went to.
You mean the last quarter? Right?
Whatever the last quarter. Yes, that's what I meant. My fault. Last quarter, they were giving Jalen Reagor a lot more looks than Devontae Smith. Yes, Devontae Smith was getting so frustrated that he looked at Reagor, told him to go sit down after he muffed the punt. He didn't even get any chance to get any targets.
Reagor had 67% of the snaps versus Devontae's 82.
How many times what? Reagor had what? 67?
67% of the snaps that he played, right? While Devontae had 82%. And like I told you, how can you sit there and sit there and say they gave Reagor more chances, looked more his way when he had less targets throughout the whole season? By almost 20.
Terrible.
That doesn't mean anything, dude.
That does mean something. If you can't get open and catch the ball, you're not going to be productive. I'm sorry. You can get all the targets you want, but if you're not going to get fucking open and you can't, Jalen Reagor is sorry. The dude cannot get open. He couldn't even beat Dean at the fucking cornerback for the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers cornerback literally locked his ass down. The play where Jalen Hurts threw a pick, that was supposed to be for Reagor to get open. And a lot of times they were double covering, a lot of times on Devontae Smith. Devontae was getting two corners on him because one-on-one he would toast to one cornerbacks. You know what I'm saying? So they were double covering Devontae Smith and they were leaving Jalen Reagor one-on-one coverage and he couldn't beat them. That's why I'm saying A.J. Brown is going to open a lot for Devontae Smith because now Devontae Smith is not double covered. It's going to be A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith was getting double covered. Double covered. If you looked at most of the games, he wasn't getting one-on-ones. He was getting double covered in his safety over the top. Jalen Reagor was getting the one-on-ones. So, yeah, Devontae Smith might have got more passing attempts, but he couldn't get open because those two corners were on him. Because if you allowed him with one-on-one corners, he would toast you. He would destroy you because his route techniques are one of the best right now, in my opinion, in NFC East. Since Amari Cooper left, obviously. Amari Cooper, I would say number one, but he's now in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? But he was one-on-one cornerbacks. Oh, it's over. You know, unless you're Diggs, who just, you know, a lot of people say he shut him down. There was a lot of times where Devontae was open, Jalen Hurts just missed him. You know what I'm saying? But Devontae Smith was getting double covered. He was getting shadowed with a safety, and you really couldn't throw to him because that was their main target they wanted to go to. But they didn't go to Devontae Smith. A lot of times when Devontae Smith was open, they didn't throw it to him. They threw it to Jalen Reagor. I mean, the Giants game, Devontae Smith begged for the ball. He went to the coach and said, "Listen, give me the ball." Jalen Reagor dropped it. Devontae don't drop those two.
Which Giants game? The first one?
The one where Jalen Reagor dropped the two balls.
Was that the first one?
I think so, yes. Okay. Yes, that was the first one.
Okay, and I'm going to give you this. That game, Jalen Reagor had 7 targets his way, while Devontae Smith had 4, right? The second game, the second time they played the Eagles, Devontae Smith had 7 targets thrown his way, while Jalen Reagor had 4. They both ended up with the same amount of targets. But what I'm trying to explain to you
in that game.
Okay, what I'm trying to explain to you is a lot of what you're saying is nonsense because you're telling me that Jalen Reagor was looked at more than number 1 because he was drafted in the first round. Devontae Smith was also drafted in the first round, right? If you look at their stats last year, Devontae Smith, was it 100 and it was 104 targets last year. 104 targets. While Jalen Reagor had 57. That's almost double. So explain to me how Jalen Reagor was looked at more of a number 1 than what Smith was when Smith got most of the targets out of those two guys.
You said how many yards did Devontae Smith have?
I didn't say yards. I said Devontae Smith had 104 targets, meaning the ball was thrown
Should have
his
more
way
than that.
104 times, while Jalen Reagor only had 57 balls thrown his way. So that's what I'm trying to ask you. Explain to me how Jalen Reagor was looked at as the number one option when you look at their stats. That is not true.
So in the beginning, they were using Jalen Reagor a lot. Towards the end, they were using Devontae Smith more, right? In the playoff game, they didn't use Devontae Smith. But if you saw the Cowboys game when you beat us with pretty much with your whole team, they were using Devontae Smith as number one. He caught everything pretty much. But the beginning, they were using Jalen Reagor. If you look at it, Devontae Smith was also.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
How is it a lie? Explain to me.
Okay, so Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith got the ball. My fault. Devontae Smith was good in the first game, but all right, let me.
Okay, I'm gonna explain it to you. The targets for Jalen Reagor in the first. I'm gonna go the first 4 games. 6 targets, 5 targets, 8 targets, 1 target against Kansas City, and that's for the first 4 games. Devontae Smith, 8 targets, 7 targets, 6 targets, 10 targets against Kansas City.
How many touchdowns?
Huh?
How many touchdowns in that game?
What's his name? Smith only had 1 touchdown.
How many Reagor have?
1 touchdown.
In the Kansas City game.
Oh, you're talking about neither one of them had a touchdown in the Kansas City game.
Well, the one was called back. There was a lot of them that were called back.
Reagor had his touchdown in Atlanta, his first one. His second one didn't come to week. His second one didn't come to week 7 against the Raiders. Devontae Smith's first touchdown came against Atlanta. His next touchdown didn't come until Kansas City in week 9.
There was one that was called back that shouldn't have been called back because he was in bounds, but we won't count that one. The Panthers game, Devontae Smith was when he got the targets, he was making something happen. What I'm trying to say is, they might have the stats. The stats don't tell you everything. Stats only certain part of it. Stats always can be manipulated. There's a lot of stats.
Okay. See, yes.
Listen. Let me explain to you. When I watched on TV, Reagor was getting a lot of plays specifically for him. Devontae Smith wasn't getting the looks like Jamar Chase was for Cincinnati. He wasn't getting those. A lot of those plays was because of Devontae Smith and what he can do as a receiver. He was making people miss. He was able to take one simple route and turn it to extra yards. That's all. It wasn't you were acting like this guy was getting targeted most of the time. That's not the case. A lot of times those plays were big plays by Devontae Smith because of his route running, his ability to get up on his cornerback and make them, think he's going one way and then, go out the other way. He was able to get great separation.
What I'm saying? Mean big plays? What are you talking about? Big plays?
For example, right? The Kansas City Chiefs game, right? The Kansas City Chiefs game, he was able to create separation on the cornerbacks, right? He was able to get open. A lot of times he would create a lot of separation for Jalen Hurts.
He was able to get open 64 times out of the 104 times they threw to him.
A lot of times Jalen Hurts would throw it in bad positions. And a lot of times Devontae Smith would catch every one of them. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of times where Devontae Smith would be there and Jalen Hurts would just throw a bad pass. But there's a lot of times where Jalen Reagor was getting, double covered and they would still throw it to him. And Devontae Smith was one-on-one coverage. Or Devontae Smith beats his man and they don't throw it to him. Like the Cowboys game, Devontae Smith, if you looked at the game, yes, it looked like Diggs shut him down. But if you really look into it and you break it down, Devontae Smith was mostly open. Jalen Hurts was not seeing Devontae Smith most of the time. And Devontae Smith could have had a big gain in that game. Big yards in the game. Because he was getting open. You saw him out, was wide open. There was a lot of times where Devontae Smith could have more yards. And that's why a lot of Eagle fans are saying Jalen Hurts ain't to do because they watched Devontae Smith really wide open and Jalen Hurts wasn't seeing it. But if you give him Joe Burrow, I'm not saying he would be better than Jamar Chase, but his stats would have been a little bit not saying there because Jamar Chase obviously I like Jamar Chase. And I think he's a better player than Devontae Smith. But Devontae Smith would have been close than what people think.
But weren't you last year in the preseason talking about how Jamar Chase was a bum because he couldn't catch a
I never
football.
said that. Hold. I never said that. I said
I'm not.
Jamar
I'm
Chase was
not.
a
I'm
monster.
not. I'm not saying literally said he was a bum. No, but
Mm.
you were making fun of Jamar Chase because he couldn't catch a football last year in the
No, I
preseason.
thought he was a monster. That was for other Eagle fans. I said that Jamar Chase is gonna be a monster. I was making fun of Waddle. I didn't think he was good out of the college, but no, I didn't make fun of Jamar. I thought Jamar was a
Okay.
monster. I wanted him.
So
I
so if
wanted.
I
You
go
remember right my video?
if that video is up and I go back into last year around preseason time, I will not find anything about you making fun of Jamar Chase saying that
No, I didn't make a whole.
he's a
I didn't
bum.
make a video about him.
Okay.
I don't remember that. I don't think I made a video about him at all. I thought it was stupid, really, to be honest. I made fun of, like I said, I made fun of Jalen Rager, and I thought Devontae Smith. I said Devon because there was a lot of people saying Devontae Smith and Jamar Chase. I said Devontae Smith is going to be better because obviously you're going to rate your receiver better than the guy that you didn't draft, right? But I didn't make
Mm-hmm.
fun of him. I didn't say I knew Jamar Chase was a monster, because he's better than Justin Jefferson. I've been saying it out of college. He is better than Justin Jefferson. In the NFL, he's better than Justin Jefferson. He was always that number one dude. What I was saying was I think Devontae Smith's going to have a better year than Jamar Chase. And I said if Jamar Chase had Jalen Hurts, I don't think he would have had the exact same yards because Jalen Hurts was still a young quarterback growing. Joe Burrow was a different quarterback than Jalen Hurts. And Joe Burrow, to me, is a guy who has a better arm than Jalen Hurts. Right? I'm not saying he doesn't. If you put Devontae Smith on the Bengals, they would have not saying better yards, but similar yards to what Jamar did with the Bengals because there was a lot of receivers getting open. If Jamar Chase wasn't getting open, it was T. Higgins getting open. If it wasn't T. Higgins getting open, it was Tyler Boyd getting open. Devontae Smith didn't have that. Devontae Smith pretty much was the only receiver getting open. There was three receivers on the Eagles, but one of them was only the one getting open. Jalen Rager wasn't getting open like Devontae. If you watch a lot of times, Jalen Rager didn't even look like he was running. It looked like he was out of shape when he was trying to run because he wasn't creating separation. Like I'm telling you, the Bengals cornerback, I mean not Bengals, Buccaneers cornerback Dean was able to shut his ass down and not able to give him anything. I mean that play that Jalen Hurts threw a pick, that was for Rager, and Rager couldn't get separation. And Devontae Smith, you watched him a lot, so he was getting frustrated. He wanted the ball because he would make something happen out of just catching it. Devontae Smith, don't forget, can run, and he's able to create separation for himself. And when he's catching the ball, he's able to get downfield. He has speed enough to track a ball and take it to an end zone. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times we saw Devontae Smith get those stats you talk about. A lot of times Jalen Hurts was throwing the ball, and Devontae Smith was able to take one and make more, out of it than what it was. Like for example, the Chargers game. Devontae Smith was able to take a route and get open and able to create and make people miss. It took 3 charges to get Devontae Smith down after the one catch. And I think the fourth had to come and tackle him on his legs because Devontae Smith is so silky and smooth, and he's a smoothly route runner that he gets open naturally. That's one of why we drafted him. And there was a lot of times where we weren't looking towards him. He should have more yards, in my opinion, than Jamar Chase because Jamar Chase was getting one-on-one looks. He wasn't even getting one-on-one looks, but he was because if you look at it, who are you going to cover? T. Higgins. If you cover T. Higgins and you double cover him, then you're leaving Jamar Chase on it. If you put Jamar Chase on the Philadelphia Eagles right now, last year, I don't think he would have the same production. That doesn't mean I don't like Jamar Chase. It was just Jamar Chase was in a perfect situation for Cincinnati. They had already had 2 receivers. T. Higgins don't act like he's not good. He is. And Tyler Boyd is a good receiver. You add Jamar Chase in, I mean, that was pretty much what you needed to create a lot of separation for Joe Burrow to throw downfield. And I think if Devontae Smith was on the Bengals or any other receiver on the Bengals, when it's Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith, they would have the exact same yards. I think Devontae Smith would have similar yards to Jamar Chase. But I think last year he was the only guy that was getting open. Yes. Jalen Rager wasn't getting consistently open. And when he was dropping the ball a lot. And when he did get open, he didn't catch the ball. I mean, there was many times where Devontae Smith was wide open in the Giants game, the first one. And he was crying to the coach that he wanted the ball. And he begged the coach to give him the ball, the last touchdown, because he wanted the ball to win the game for us. And they threw it to Jalen Rager. Even though because Jalen Rager is the number one pick, and you're not going to allow your number one pick to just not get production. You're going to try to see what you could get out of the number one pick that you drafted. Because we did take him over Justin Jefferson, and he is the number one guy that you have to get him involved. Devontae Smith wasn't getting those yards. He was just creating a lot of separation. He was able to take one thing and make it something out of nothing happen. That's all. His route run is so good, and he's able to catch the ball and make people miss. He's not going to juke you, but he's able to create enough separation to get downfield. And what I'm saying is now you add A.J. Brown, who's been the number one for Ryan Tannehill. Say what you want about Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill does not have these yards unless A.J. Brown makes these catches. And now you add Jalen Hurts, who's familiar with A.J. Brown, that knows him personally. You add him to the mix. How are you going to stop this receiving core? And now that Quez Watkins is a guy that, to me, should have more looks than Jalen Rager. You know what I'm saying? But Devontae Smith wasn't getting those targets. A lot of times he was making something out of nothing happen. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
I mean, go back and watch the tape. He was getting open a lot. But people overlooked those.
Who was getting
open?
A
lot. He was getting open.
Who?
Devontae Smith was getting wide open. It's just Jalen Hurts they were throwing to Rager a lot. Rager is the number one pick. You're not going to allow him not to get production. Yes, Devontae Smith might have more completions, or they might have tried to get it to him. Obviously, they did in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? But towards the end,
the whole year, bro. I've explained this to you already. The whole year, Devontae Smith has more targets than Jalen Rager. And yeah, you're right. Some game, actually, no. By looking at this, Rager doesn't even touch Jamar Chase. I mean, doesn't even touch Devontae Smith's target number. I mean, you look at the Carolina game. Devontae Smith had 9. You look at the Carolina game for Rager, he had 5. 4 for Tampa, 9 for the Raiders, and 3 for Detroit. But again, Detroit, what's his name? Jalen Hurts was running the ball the whole time. Carolina for Rager was 5. Tampa was 3. Raiders were 2, and Detroit was 2. Chargers were 1. Denver was 2. New Orleans was 3. The Giants that was his most. No, the Dallas game is when Rager had the most targets thrown his way, and that was 8. But other than that, Rager doesn't even come close to touching the amount of production and the amount of times that they threw the ball over to Devontae Smith. Rager doesn't touch Devontae Smith at all. They threw the ball less, half the time to Rager than they did to Smith. And look, to your point, stats don't tell everything, right? They don't. But that's only to an extent. But when you're looking at straight up numbers of how many times we got to the ball, for me to sit there and say that they didn't game plan game plan or try to get Devontae Smith involved, those numbers like that don't lie. Yes, they can be skewed, like when it comes to Jalen Hurts and the Cowboy game. When he had I think it was about $150 or about 120 yards going into the fourth quarter or the middle of the third, and all of a sudden he busts out for 200 plus yards when we were up by like 3 touchdowns already. Yeah, those stats are kind of skewed. But when you're looking at someone who's actually getting numbers, actually targets thrown their way, to say that they didn't get involved, that's a lie. Now, I can give you the Tampa game where you're right. They didn't get Smith the ball. They didn't get him the ball until the second half. Why?
We didn't get him the ball in the first Giants game. He would have caught those 2 balls that Jalen Rager dropped. Just facts.
Okay. I'm sure. I am sure he would have caught it. But you're right. They went to Rager at that time. But that does not mean majority of the time they go to Rager. They went to Smith majority of the time throughout the entire season by actually 50 more targets. That's what I'm telling you. There's a
lot of times where Jalen Hurts overthrew Devontae or wasn't able to connect with Devontae Smith. I mean, Devontae Smith had to tell him, hey, put it up here a little bit more. Even the Chargers game, it was a perfect example. He was telling his quarterback, hey, a little bit up here. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I know Jalen Hurts has accuracy issues, and that's why I expect him to be better. Jalen Hurts is a guy that is learning to be a quarterback. This is his first time where I think he will have the same offense, the same coach, and everything like that. He hasn't had that. So I expect him to be better. And I expect Devontae Smith to pick up what he left at and dominate the NFL with his route running, because now he's not going to be the focus. It's going to be obviously A.J. Brown. Are you going to allow A.J. Brown one-on-one coverage? I mean, who's Diggs going to cover? Is he going to cover Devontae Smith? Okay. Good luck with are you going to put Anthony Brown on a guy that's 50-50 receiver who can go up and make these catches? What is he, 6'1"? And he's able to get up and make the catch? A.J. Brown. What is he? What's his height? He's 6'1", isn't he?
Hold on, let me look. Tell me. Yeah, he's 6'1".
He's 6'1". And how tall is A.J. Brown? I'm sorry, Anthony Harris. I mean, Anthony Brown.
Anthony Brown. He's not. He's not. Hold on. Looking it up right now. 5'11", 2-inch difference.
5'11", and a 6'1" receiver. You're going to put him on A.J. Brown.
Well, a lot of the corners
That's
are smaller
than
receivers. A lot of it doesn't. That doesn't matter. Like, I can understand if it was a like a 5'8" or 5'9" corner going up against a 6'1" guy, but you're talking about 2 inches. And yeah, you're right. It may make a little bit of a difference, but it's not going to make a lot by saying just throw the ball up. That don't mean nothing.
A.J. Brown is a guy who will go up and get the ball, and if you put him with a small corner, I'm throwing him all day.
A lot of the corners in the NFL are smaller than the wide receiver. A lot.
But he went against the best and he ripped them to shreds. They had to double cover A.J. Brown. They weren't single covering him. When they did, they got destroyed. I watched a video where he went against Marlon Humphrey and he lit him up. And they had to double cover A.J. Brown because how bad he was killing Marlon Humphrey. I watched a video of A.J. Brown dominating cornerbacks. You have to double cover this dude, because you're not going to leave him single with Anthony Brown. Come on, man. That's why I say Diggs is probably more likely going to be on A.J. Brown, because he's taller and he's able to be physical with him. And you're not going to put a physical receiver with a guy who has to rely on his speed to get down, because Anthony Brown's not going to be a physical guy that's going up and going to, he's going to rely on his speed. Is that right? Is he like Ronald Darby where he's rely on his speed?
Who?
Anthony Brown, is he a physical corner? Is he going to get in your face as the face of receiver?
And Anthony Brown's fast. And
yeah, you think he's going to get in the face of A.J. Brown?
Trayvon Diggs is 6'2".
6'2". Okay, so you would put 6'2" on a 6'1" receiver, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but what? So what? You're telling me you'd put a 5'11" guy on a 6-foot wide receiver?
No, that's what I'm saying. That pretty much. That's what I said. I would have drafted Andrew Booth. That way, Diggs can be on that number 1. And you put Andrew Booth as the number 2. Andrew Booth don't need to be the number 1. He can be a number 2 cornerback. And he was in the second round. I would have. Cowboys had many chances to take him. The Vikings didn't get him into what, the late second round? Did they get him in early second round or late second round? There was many chances where they could have got him. I would have got him. The second I saw A.J. Brown, I'm drafting a corner. And I'm going to tell you why. Because look what the Jets did. And I brought this up in my last stream. When the Tyreek Hill went to Miami Dolphins, what did the Jets do? The Jets could have went receiver early. They could have went offense line. They could have went D tackle. What did they do? They saw Sauce Gardner and they said, we want him. Why do we want them? We want him on Tyreek Hill this year. They just traded for one of the best receivers in the National Football League that Kansas City had for years. And now he's on Miami. We need someone to stop him. You know what I'm saying? I think the Jets are in the Miami Dolphins division, right? I think so, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I want to make sure I didn't want to say something stupid where I was like the Jets. They're like, did you say the Miami Dolphins, the Jets? I know they're in the same division. I just want to double check. That way I won't say anything stupid. But they went and drafted Sauce Gardner to stop the number 1 receiver that they just traded for. That's what you should have did. You should allow Diggs is going to be on A.J. Brown. But let's get Andrew Booth on Devontae Smith. That way you don't have to worry about, Devontae Smith.
You're talking about an inch difference because Devontae Smith is 6 foot. Anthony Brown is 5'11". That's an inch. And then Andrew Booth, yeah, he's 6 foot. I get it. But like I said, the height don't mean much.
And he's a physical corner too. He's gonna be good. Like I wanted him in the draft. I'm not gonna say I didn't want him. I wanted. That was one of my guys I wanted. I thought Andrew Booth was the best corner. I had him over. I had him over Derek Stingley. I didn't have him over Sauce Gardner, but I had him the second best corner. And like I said, if I was the Dallas Cowboys, I would have drafted Andrew Booth. Why is that? I want him. I want Diggs on AJ Brown. That way we can make Andrew Booth the second. Because let's go, bro. If you're going to put Anthony Brown on Devontae Smith, it's going to be a long game for him. He didn't go against Devontae Smith. Diggs went against Devontae Smith. Anthony Brown has never played against Devontae Smith, and I don't see that how you can put a cornerback that struggled against receivers who are route techniques. Devontae Adams didn't Devontae Adams rip apart Anthony Brown before Diggs?
Devontae Adams
Before
from
Diggs
Green
came.
Bay?
Yeah. Didn't he play against Anthony Brown before?
No, no, I don't think so. Not
So
he didn't
who
go
did
against
Anthony Brown go against? What receivers did he go against?
Yeah, I don't remember. He it wasn't the ones. He wasn't the number ones.
So he's
It was
going to go against the number. Now you expect him, because let's be real, Devontae Smith is the number one. You got technically
But
two number ones on
what
each
I'm
side.
expecting is Calvin Joseph to take over a little bit.
Calvin Joseph, the same dude who got destroyed by Devontae Smith in the last game. Devontae Smith literally turned him around. You expect him to cover.
Bro, you're talking about one play. Calvin Joseph gave up 66 yards that game.
He was killing Joseph in that game. Joseph could not stop him. You don't think Devontae Smith is not going to do that again?
Bro, Devontae Smith only had 41 yards that game.
He was catching everything, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't.
In that last game versus the Cowboys?
Okay, you can say he caught everything because he only had the ball thrown to him 4 times. He caught the ball 3 times.
He was killing your cornerback. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know who
Bro, the ball was only thrown to him 4 times. He caught the ball 3 times for.
But he caught everything against your cornerback that you want to put against him,
He
right?
only went against Calvin Joseph 1 time, and you're going to predicate everything off of one matchup 1 time.
So is it true that Devontae Smith didn't own? Well, you said Calvin Joseph owned Devontae Smith in college. Because I heard different stories. I watched film where
I didn't say that. I didn't
say you. I didn't say you. I heard that's why they drafted him, was because they said he owned Devontae Smith in college.
I don't think that's why they drafted him.
That's what a lot of Cowboy fans were saying, that we got the Devontae Smith stopper or someone like that. Like, we got a cornerback.
I mean, just because they say they got a Devontae Smith stopper doesn't mean that's why they drafted him. That's not the reason why they drafted him. I'm sure they liked his measurables because Dan Quinn likes a taller cornerback, and Calvin Joseph is 6'1", which you can put on Devontae Smith, who's only 6 foot, and then put Trayvon Diggs on AJ Brown, and both guys are 6'1".
You're going to rely on a guy. Let's be real. How many times he played against Devontae Smith? 1 time, right? Devontae Smith is coming into the second year and played a full season.
They played against each other in college, and he stopped them a few times.
Devontae Smith also beat him a lot of times too. So it was back and forth.
Back and forth, like it's normal.
I'm not saying. I mean, he'll win some battles too, but Devontae Smith's going to win his too.
So how can you sit there and tell me that Devontae Smith is going to destroy Calvin Joseph when they've gone back and forth?
Because I think Calvin Joseph hasn't played a full season yet, has he? And Devontae Smith has.
It does matter.
It does matter. And how do you know Calvin Joseph is going to be able to handle Devontae Smith? Devontae Smith could be better.
I never said anything of the sort. You're asking me who's going to cover who, and I'm telling you, you're going off of height who should cover who, and I'm telling you, based off of height, if that's your logic, then Devontae Smith is going to be covered by Calvin Joseph, who is 6'1", because he's the bigger corner.
I mean, obviously,
and
yeah.
And then AJ Brown, who to your logic or to what you're saying is the better number 1 wide receiver, the more established number 1 wide receiver. So why not put a 6'1" corner in Trayvon Diggs against AJ Brown?
Who's covering Quez Watkinson?
Dude, I don't give a shit. It could be what's his name? Anthony Brown.
Come on. He gonna toast Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown, I mean, come on. I like that matchup all day. He gonna rip apart Anthony Brown. Quez Watkins is a burner.
Jordan Lewis is a dog when he's not.
I thought he was a safety. Is he a safety or was he a
Jordan Lewis.
corner? Is
Jordan
he a
Lewis
corner?
was a corner.
He's a corner.
Yes.
I thought he was toast too. You gonna put Quez Watkins on Anthony?
And Quez Watkins only had 62 targets last year. He only
I mean,
had
they ain't
one.
target.
Hold on.
He has work on his route runner, but
He
he'll get
only
better.
had 2 games. Only 2 games above 50 yards. Only 2 games. And that was against San Francisco when he had 117. Excuse me, 3 games above 50 yards. The Jets when he had 60 and he had 84 against Dallas when he was playing when all the backups were in.
But you acting like, and listen, let's take all these stats out and let's just talk about production. Devontae Smith to me has one leg up against your corner that you drafted. Am I right? And you're going to expect him because listen, he only played one game. It was his first time playing against Devontae Smith, wasn't it? Like he didn't play against him in the first game. That was Trayvon Diggs. So Devontae Smith already has a year under his belt. He's going in the second year where your corner that you drafted to, be your number 2. It's only had one game where did he play except that one game in Philadelphia?
Who?
Kelvin Joseph.
Yes, Calvin Joseph played. He was mainly on special teams, but
so he was on special teams.
He played 10 games last year on defense. Targets thrown his way, only 17 targets thrown his way, and he gave up 8 completions last year, 89 yards total.
But what I'm trying to say is Devontae Smith, he's definitely going to work on his route runner, and I think that if you put a cornerback that damn well Devontae Smith is going to look forward to playing against, because I mean they have so many years of history going against each other. I expect Devontae Smith to win his route. Devontae Smith can win his routes. My logic is I would put Jordan Lewis on Devontae Smith and then put what's his name with Carl Joseph, whatever his name is, on Quez Watkins, because I just think that any way you look at it, this receiving core is for real. I like you're relying on like who would you rather have? And it's just a hypothetical question. You know what I'm talking about? Hypothetical. Sorry about that. Would you rather have Andrew Booth or whatever his name is?
Calvin Joseph?
Yeah.
Well, if we're talking about production and who's had more playing time in the NFL, right now I'm staying with my guy Calvin Joseph. That's what I'm doing.
But I'm just talking about in general. Like if you had a choice between right now, who you would put on Devontae Smith, like forget about the NFL game. Who is the better cornerback on paper right now? Who would you rather have right now? As we talk about like in college, who was the better product in college?
You're talking about Andrew Booth, who was a top 4 corner coming out of college. And
he's supposed to be a number 1 pick. I saw a lot of mock drafts that had him going late first.
And then you have Jordan Lewis. I think we took in the 3rd round, 4th. I forget what round we took him in. So of course you're gonna go with Andrew Booth based off of where they got drafted.
And just imagine if Andrew Booth and Trayvon Diggs were on the same team. I mean, I'd be scared of that.
Yeah, we got Jordan Lewis in the 3rd round. Yeah, I was right.
I would be more scared of Andrew Booth and Devontae and Diggs than I am with Jordan Lewis and Diggs. Because what sounds better? Andrew Booth is a shutdown. Let's not act like Andrew Booth was a scrub in college. He was a shutdown guy. He shut down a lot of receivers, and he was able to stop a lot of receivers. I would have taken him and put him with Diggs. That's more scary. Now you just got real because we drafted a corner. Now we're going to put him with Diggs, and we're going to see how you beat us downfield. I'm not going to be scared of a guy that I saw rip apart a cornerback in the last game and with a backup quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much a backup quarterback throwing to him, and he caught everything. Hell, they had a chance of a pick, and Devontae Smith was able to watch it pop out of the air, bounce off a player, and able to catch it and still maintain the balance. Devontae Smith, is going to cook up Joseph off the fact that we saw what he did to him. And I expect him to do the exact same thing. Why do I say that?
What did you see him do? It was one play, man.
No, it wasn't
One.
just one play. It wasn't one play. I saw many times, dude. He made him spin around, and then he
That was
caught
one
one.
play. That was
There
one
was,
play.
and then there was another one where the ball bounced off Joseph's hand, right, and he was able to
Which mean
catch
he
it.
was gonna have an interception, and he missed it.
No, it bounced off his hand. It tipped out of it. The ball tipped out of his hands, and he was able to catch it. And there was one where he was able to make
Who the ball tipped out
Joseph.
of whose hand? The ball tipped out of whose hands, and who caught it?
I mean, if you want, you could play Devontae Smith versus the
No,
Cowboys,
no,
where
that's
he
what I'm asking you. You said the ball tipped out of someone's hands,
yeah,
and then
it tipped
someone
out of
caught
one
it.
of the players' hands, and Devontae was able to see it pop out of the player's hand, like the
Well, we're
ball
talking
bounced
about
off the player's
Joseph.
hand.
Yeah, I
Yeah, he
understand. But we're
destroyed him. He destroyed. It didn't even look fair.
destroyed
The guy
who?
looked lost.
Dude. Listen to what you're saying. Remember what I told you
Mhm.
to think about what you're saying. You're saying we're talking about Calvin Joseph, and then you're sitting there
Mhm.
telling me the ball bounced off someone's hands, and then someone caught it.
I think it was a safety.
I'm asking the ball bounced off whose hands, and you're just telling me some player.
Hooker. I think it was Malik Hooker in that game.
Okay, so what does that have to do with Calvin Joseph?
Devontae
What does
Smith
that
was
have to do
able
with
to
him?
catch it.
Huh?
Devontae Smith was pretty much catching everything, and when he went against the cornerback, he was able to destroy him. That's all I'm
He
saying.
went against the quarterback one time.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter because you
Why
can't.
doesn't it?
I said it does. You're saying it doesn't matter. I'm
It
saying
doesn't
it
matter.
matters. I'm saying it does. I'm saying it matters because you can't predicate or determine everything of how Devontae Smith is going to play against Calvin Joseph based off of one play. One play.
That gave me all the confidence in the world next year because I expect him to do the exact same thing to him. Until
And
he
then if he
shows me
doesn't,
that he can lock them down, Devontae Smith's going to get his catches. Because if you lock down Devontae Smith, guess what? You still got Dallas Goedert. I mean, who are you going to put on him? I mean, who are you going to put on Quez Watkins? You're thinking of Devontae Smith. I'm thinking of what we can do with these receivers. And we can move them all around, too.
Jordan Lewis is a slot corner.
Jordan Lewis is trash, my man. Come on, bro. Really? Jordan Lewis is good? He's trash. He's trash. Anthony Brown isn't good. Come on. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to rely on Carl, whatever his name, Joseph, a third-round pick. Is he a third rounder?
Who?
The guy that you want to go get that you're going to put on Devontae Smith.
No, Calvin Joseph we got in the second round.
Second rounder. Okay, so he's a second rounder. Okay, he might be good, but Jordan Lewis, come on, Anthony Brown, they're trash, dude. So you rely on
Lewis is a slot guy, and I said go against Quez.
So he's not going to go against Devontae Smith. He'll go against Quez more likely.
That's what I just said. That's what I literally just said because that's what we were talking about.
So Anthony Brown, I pray to God that Anthony Brown does go against Devontae Smith because he will rip Anthony Brown apart. Anthony Brown is trash. And I don't think Jordan Lewis is all of that. I think Quez Watkins can beat him downfield. You know, if he can work on his route running and his techniques, is able to actually track a ball and make the catch, it's over. Like, I don't see y'all scary this year. I really don't. I think you have one cornerback that we know is going to be a problem, and that is Diggs. But other than that, you're not going to put a regular cornerback on a number one receiver out of Alabama who literally is known to get separation. He has destroyed cornerbacks like this in college, and he translated to NFL. He was making cornerbacks look stupid just off his route running ability to create space for himself and the quarterback to connect. And you're going to rely on a guy that we only saw one time go against a receiver who has 1 year under his belt. Come on. I just don't see that happening. I think Devontae Smith already has a leg up, and you know, obviously time will tell. But right now, Devontae Smith is going to have a hell of a game against him because I had the confidence. I saw my own two eyes where he played against Devontae Smith, and he didn't know how to stop. It wasn't like he was pressing up on him. Devontae had one catch. He had many times where was wide open against Lewis. He made Lewis turn around, and Devontae Smith was able to create separation. So I expect him.
Wait, who made who turn around?
Did you not watch the game where Devontae Smith made Jordan Lewis? Not Lewis. Joseph turn around, like he made him spin around, and Devontae Smith was able to go like that.
That's why I said that was one play out of the four.
But doesn't matter. Guess what? You don't think he'll do it again? You're going to put a cornerback that you relied in the second round to go against a number one receiver that has 1 year under his belt. That's why I said you got to pick your poison, because these two receivers are no jokes. And if you put a regular corner on him, Devontae Smith, I expect to eat. I expect him to eat. Yeah, you might have Diggs on Brown, but Devontae Smith is able to get open and he's able to create separation. If you put a cornerback that you know, has a history with, then definitely I think Devontae Smith will win it. Because Devontae Smith knows him personally. He knows how he moves. He knows how he thinks. You know what I'm saying? And Jordan Lewis showed me when he went against Devontae Smith that he had trouble against. I don't care if it's one game. I expect it to continue until he shows me something different. I think that Jordan Lewis, or whatever the cornerback name that you draft, is going to have fits with him. And I don't think you put an average corner or a cornerback in the second round you drafted on a number one receiver. You just don't. That's what I say. Andrew Booth would have been a better option for you to put on. Because like I said, when the Tyreek Hill came to the Dolphins, they got Sauce Gardner.
Do you know how badly you're contradicting everything you're saying?
No, I'm confident in Devontae Smith to put a second round cornerback on his ass and able to create separation for himself to get open, make touchdowns.
Okay, if you let me explain how you're contradicting yourself.
How am I? Explain.
Based off of production, you expect Devontae Smith to run circles around Calvin Joseph.
He will. Again.
So if we draft Andrew Booth, who has no production whatsoever in the NFL,
didn't he diverse Devontae Smith to college?
It's not like he. I don't think so. Calvin Joseph defended him in college, and Calvin Joseph won a few times in that.
Devontae Smith against him.
Yes, Calvin Joseph defended Devontae Smith a few times in college and won.
And Devontae Smith also burned him a couple times. I watched games where he lit him up.
Okay, that's great. I understand. It's a back and forth. It happens.
And you think so? Let me ask you a question. Do you think Joseph is going to translate to what he was in college? Because we already know what Devontae Smith is. Is Joseph going to be that guy that you can rely on? Just because he did in college. Remember we say college and NFL are two separate things. Just because you did in college doesn't make you
I'm not saying that, dude. You're the one who keeps saying things like that. You're telling me that Devontae Smith based off of just his production and the one time in the NFL that he went against Calvin Joseph, that Devontae Smith is going to now all the time cook Calvin Joseph. And I'm saying that is not true. You can't sit there with a straight face and because of one play, tell me from here on out, Calvin Joseph is going to get his shit pushed in by Devontae Smith.
You want me to say it?
Say what?
Calvin Joseph will get his shit pushed in again if he goes against Devontae Smith.
Okay.
And we're going to find out week 6. He was clamping Smith in college. No, he wasn't. That's false because I've seen many games where Smith was holding his own. It was a back. You acting like this guy was a shutdown corner. When I watched him, Devontae Smith was getting open. He was making catches.
Who are you talking to?
I was reading the comment because he's saying he clamped him in college. No, he didn't. He clamped him about one time, and Devontae Smith pretty much had him all game. He clamped about one time, I believe, and I saw Devontae Smith go up against him and rip him apart. That's why he pretty much fell into the second round. You know what I'm saying? Say where Stingley got lit up by Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith was lighting up corners like Stingley. He was lighting up cornerbacks like cornerbacks like Joseph. So, we're gonna run in here like this guy's gonna lock down Smithy. Come on, man. That's why I say Andrew Booth is a guy that I would draft, and not because of that, because you don't know he's gonna be in the NFL, but I have more confidence in a guy who's been a number one corner that can go against number one receivers. It's not bad to have 2 number one corners. Carl Joseph is not a number one corner, is he? He's a number 2. So you're going to put a number 2 corner on a number 1 receiver. Technically, because Devontae Smith is a number 1 receiver. I'm just saying I'd rather have Andrew Booth. I'd rather give me 2 number 1 corners and let him go against 2 number 1 receivers and let him beat me downfield. But you're going to put a number 2 corner on a number one receiver. I just think Devontae Smith has a leg up already. I mean, that to me is a feast for Devontae Smith, and it opens up a lot too for Dallas Goedert too, because you still got him, and you also can get these running backs out the backfield too. You got Gainwell who can catch out the backfield. Like that's why I say pick your poison, because
So let me
we're look.
ask you. So let me ask you this: Jalen Hurts, when y'all weren't running the ball, the first 6 games, 7 games, when y'all were like 2-3, and Jalen Hurts looked bad because he can't throw the ball. And then y'all started running the ball, and because of his running ability and designing plays for him to run the ball, which got you to the playoffs, not because he can throw the ball, but because he can run the ball. What do you expect this year to happen? Do you think you're going to go back to force feeding and throwing the ball and try to make Jalen Hurts throw? Or are you going to go back to running the ball where it's not going to matter that A.J. Brown or Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith are out there because you're going to be running the ball most of the time? What are y'all going to do?
What I think they'll do, or what do I think they will do? Because I think they will do is they'll try. Listen, they're going to make Jalen Hurts throw the ball. It's going to happen. But I expect them to do what they did last year. It's not a bad idea to run the ball. I don't want them to pass. Why do I think they'll not do it? Because they got A.J. Brown and they got Devontae Smith, and they're gonna make Jalen Hurts throw the ball. I want them to run the ball, get the running game going on, then throw it, because I want that, because their teams are going to expect us to throw the ball. Why do I say that? Because you got A.J. Brown. You don't get A.J. Brown unless you're going to not throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? A.J. Brown is a guy that they could go downfield and make these tough catches. So I expect Jalen Hurts to be tested. They're going to test him on his throwing. And listen, I hope that they run the ball, but I think in the first half you will see them try to use their weapons. It's a new shiny toy. Obviously, they're going to test it. You know what I'm saying? I hope they run the ball, because running is not a bad idea. It's not about the flashy plays in the league. It's about having a balanced offense, your identity. Your identity right now, it's running. Running is not bad, especially when you can able to use Miles Sanders. You could be able to use Gainwell. We do got Kenneth Brooks, I believe, from Oklahoma. That's a physical running back that I think, can be replaced Jordan Howard, who won't give these explosive plays, but he's able to take what the defense what the defense is given to him, and he's able to bulldoze. He's like a LeGarrette Blount, but just a little bit more. Once he gets loose, I mean, it's hard to stop him.
Who Gainwell?
No, Kenneth Brooks, the Oklahoma running back that was undrafted. I thought he should have been drafted. He was very good. I wanted him. It was one of my guys who got Kenneth Brooks.
So I have fact checkers in here.
Kennedy Brooks.
And you know how one guy said that Calvin Joseph clamped Devontae Smith. Calvin Joseph never let Devontae Smith catch a single ball in college.
You're crazy. I could pull up film right now that have him literally.
Well, I mean, can you share your screen? Because I would like to see that if you want to prove people wrong.
I mean, I don't have it. I have to go on YouTube and find it. Can I do that?
Are you? I mean, oh yeah. I mean, if you can,
I'm on my phone. I'm on my phone right now.
Oh, okay. Well, what you should do then is make a video.
I'll send you the link. I'll go tonight and I'll find a link and I'll send it to you. That way you can break it down. And it won't be anything bad. I'm not going to show how. I'm going to show the 101 plays, or 101 with him against. That way, all right. And you can definitely, if it's valuable, then you can definitely make a video about it, or whatever you want to do. That's fine. But no, I mean, I seen Devontae Smith get some yards on him. Like I don't know. But I'll definitely look into it, because I literally went and saw, okay, who's Calvin Joseph? Because everybody was talking about him. And then that's why I said, all right, let me go check in Devontae Smith and Calvin Joseph. And I saw Devontae Smith dominate him. You know what I'm saying? But, I definitely send you a link of that. I think, yes, sometimes Calvin Joseph has yards on him, but a lot of times Devontae Smith was getting his yards too. So it was back and forth. He wasn't locking down Devontae. I think he locked him down one time, and Devontae got one, and then Calvin Joseph locked him down, and then Devontae got one. But Devontae was getting his catches. It wasn't like he was shutting him down. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely share that to you after we're done the stream. But like I said, man, like I think we're going to run the ball, and Kenneth Brooks is a guy that I'm very excited about, because he's going to be a physical running back. I want to run the ball. I want to do this. Don't change up. If like they said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If that's the saying. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Uh-huh.
So why would you fix something that isn't broken? Just do the exact same thing. And I hope they let Jalen Hurts throw it. I mean, I don't want Jalen Hurts to run. I want him to stay in the pocket this year. Because not not always run. You don't need to run it. Let your quarterback run it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a running game helps a quarterback. And I don't want him to use his legs a lot. If he has to use his legs to get out of trouble, that's fine. But I want him to stay in the pocket as much as can. If he sees a target, I expect him to throw it. And I think there's one person who can take that pressure and use it to his advantage. It is Jalen Hurts, and I expect him to have better accuracy. Listen, I expect him to be MVP this year. I've been saying I think he can beat league MVP. Why do I
Who?
say that? Because
Who?
Jalen Hurts. I expect him to be MVP this year. Now, I
Okay.
mean, I expect him to be MVP. Why can't he? Hey, listen, I mean, I don't want to compare quarterbacks, but Josh Allen, how many years he took a step up? So why can't Jalen Hurts not take a step up? What is there to say that Jalen Hurts can't take a step up?
Because Jalen Hurts is not Calvin Joseph. I mean, Jalen Hurts is not Josh Allen. Didn't you just compare him
But
to Josh
Josh,
Allen?
but Josh Allen never had a good accuracy until he started getting better as a passer. If you remember, Josh Allen in his first year wasn't good at throwing the ball. His accuracy was all over the place, but he's gotten better each and every year. So why can't Jalen Hurts not do it? Russell Wilson didn't come out the gate and start throwing the ball. It took a while for quarterbacks especially Russell Wilson. When you look at his first year, he was a game manager, but he started getting better as a passer. Go look it up. Look up Russell Wilson's rookie highlights. You didn't see all those throwing. You know what I'm saying? You saw a lot of it where he was a game manager, where he relied on the running game, where he relied on his able to be affected by his ability to move. He threw some here and there, but they weren't accurate like they were now. Russell Wilson's now a franchise quarterback. So why can't Jalen Hurts not be it? Why? Because he got benched at Alabama, but they don't like to mention the fact that when Tua got hurt and won those championships, he came back and won it for them. They don't like talking about that. And he went to another college where if Joe Burrow, my fault, not translate, who translate to Alabama from Ohio State to LSU, right? Because Joe Burrow was a Ohio State quarterback, but he translated to LSU. If Joe Burrow never transit to LSU, Jalen Hurts would have won the Heisman winner. He would have won it because he took his team, I believe, to the playoffs that year too with the Oklahoma
Okay.
team. But Joe
So
Burrow was just a better quarterback. But he would have won it
so
definitely. And I
so a
think if he
couple
was a first
things.
round pick, it wouldn't be so many expectations.
So a couple things. Okay,
Hmm.
you're correct in the Josh Allen thing. He only had like a 52% completion rating in
Hmm.
his rookie season. But Russell Wilson is a different story with
Hmm.
64% completion rating for
Hmm.
him, which is a lot better. And that's his rookie season. And two, we are going to share a screen
Hmm.
because this is what I found
Of Kelvin.
on Calvin Joseph and Devontae Smith.
All right.
Is it hold on? Is it sharing? Yeah, it's sharing.
I see it.
So okay, I just want to make sure it was sharing.
I mean,
But
this is fun talking to you, by the way. I like doing this. It's cool.
this is
Hmm.
the game where they played against each other. Lockdown. Didn't
Okay.
catch.
I
And
mean,
then
we
they
could
got
say that was overthrown a little bit. Could we not say that?
yeah, sure.
I mean, that was a good that.
But still locked him down. And then here's the next one.
How many games did he play against Devontae Smith?
I have no idea. And then
Because I
here's
mean,
another one. Boom, he undercuts the route and intercepts and it gets an interception.
that's one play.
I mean, those were two plays,
Those are
but yeah.
two plays. That's one game. Now show the other one where he came back and beat Joseph.
I don't even know if there is another one. Give me a second. This is the only one that
Type
I
in
found.
Devontae Smith and Joseph. Did you type that in? Devontae Smith versus Joseph. There should be more.
Yeah, I no, that was the only thing that there
Hold
was.
on, hold up. Let me search it out real quick. Hold up. I'll be back.
Well, this is fun, guys. I'm having a great time doing this. Well, guys, I guess he left. Guess he's trying to find it. But he won't find it because it's not there. I didn't know I was by myself. But, I guess he's gone. I don't know if he's coming back. But I'm not going to be doing this much longer. But, like I said, it's clearly I won this entire thing all day. I wish that first 45 minutes was on my channel because that would have been epic. That would have been amazing. I appreciate everyone for stopping in. He ain't coming back once he shows the other CB getting destroyed. Oh man, bro. People are starting to watch film. Oh, that was. I know it doesn't exist. None of this stuff exists. None of this stuff exists. Whatever he's looking for does not exist. It ain't there. Check Twitter DMs. All the stats are there. I checked your stuff, Papa Sora. I saw it. I think I said thank you for sending it to me. If I'm not, yeah, I said thanks. So yes, you are an Eagles fan. Who is your MLB team? Well, that depends because since I do play baseball and I am a baseball player, I feel that I'm allowed to have two teams. Sue me. This is the only team, this is the only sport where I like two teams. But I am a native of Texas, so I like the Rangers. And growing up, my baseball team was called the Indians, right? Growing up, we were called the Indians. And I always liked Jim Thome, Manny Ramirez, Kenny Lofton, Roberto Enns, and hold on. He sent me a link. Oh, yeah, I saw. This is not Calvin Joseph, by the way. And it's an 11-minute video. Oh, he is back. Oh, shit. What the fuck? So I saw what you sent me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching it, but I'm going to tell you right now. Those catches against that Smitty has against Kentucky weren't against Calvin Joseph. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
What do you mean?
When Calvin Joseph was locking up Devontae Smith, he didn't catch the ball. They went against each other 2 times, which is what I just showed you. He went up against other corners and torched them for 144 yards.
Okay, so he's the guy who owns Devontae Smith in college. Okay.
Yes.
But like I said, I mean, is that going to translate into the NFL? Do you think so?
I mean, I don't know. We're gonna find out, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna find out. I'm not.
Then I'm thinking of Derek Stilling Jr. that he ripped apart because
maybe
that's what I think of because that's why. Wait, was it Derek Stilling Jr.? I know one of them fell. Derek Stilling Jr. because he got ripped apart. He got ripped apart by Smith. Okay, so it wasn't Kelvin Jones. That's my fault on my part.
Because Stingley is 2 years younger than Devontae Smith, right? They no, a year, right? Because Stingley just came out. Well, I don't know. I don't even know how old he was. But yeah, no, Calvin Joseph is the one that's locked down Smith in
How many
college.
times did he play Devontae Smith? Twice in college?
No, I think they only played each other the one time, which is
Only
why
one
there's only
time.
highlights on that. Yes, which is why I'm not here to say because of those 2 times that Smith got locked down by Calvin Joseph that, Calvin Joseph is now going to lock down Devontae Smith all day, every day. I'm not saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But you, on the flip side, because of one play.
Well, I mean, you gotta admit that was a bad throw, bro. If he throws it accurately to Devontae Smith, that's a touchdown.
Who?
Matt Jones, whoever the quarterback was, who threw that ball.
No, if he throws it accurately,
Pull up that play.
That's an interception. Okay, let me go back to it.
Let me pull up the play.
Because if he throws that accurately, that's an interception because Calvin Joseph was in front of Devontae Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on.
You're going to robot voice now. Hold up.
Oh, Windows. Nope. Chrome. Here we go. Okay, so.
I mean, to me, that was a bad ball.
I mean, it was overthrown, but what I'm saying is that if it was accurately thrown, it's an interception. Because look at where Smitty is compared to Calvin Joseph. Calvin Joseph has him beat. If that is thrown to where
look at it right there. Look right there. I mean, that's a bad ball. Come on.
I understand that, bro, but listen to what I'm telling you. If that ball is accurately thrown, look. If that ball is accurately thrown, look at where Calvin Joseph is, and look at where Smitty is falling down. Mm-hmm. Look at the ball. Look, boom. If that is thrown to where it's supposed to be and not overthrown, that's an interception. That is an interception by Calvin Joseph.
Hold up, because he had a 2-step ahead of Calvin Joseph. I think if he threw that
ball,
had
2 steps ahead.
Look at the play again.
Calvin Joseph is in front of Smitty, bro.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at it again. Watch. Ready again. Let's see it again. Maybe I saw something different.
Okay. Are you talking about?
Yeah, right there.
Right.
If he reaches out, he can catch that ball.
You're talking about right here? You're talking about right here when Devontae Smith is grabbing the jersey?
Keep going. Now you're going to say grabbing jersey.
Well, look at his hand. Look at his hand on Calvin Joseph's back.
He has 2 hands right there. Like,
what are you talking about, bro? You know that Smitty's in the maroon jersey, right?
Yeah, the red. Yeah, I know.
Yes. So look, Calvin Joseph is now letting up while Smitty is stumbling. And then look at his hand.
Right there. If he put that ball on accurate, that's a catch. That's a first down at least.
Bro.
That ball was overthrown.
Look at Devontae Smith's hand. It is grabbing all over Calvin Joseph. Look at his backhand. And look at where that ball is thrown.
Oh, I really can't see that. Oh, I see it now.
Look where that ball is thrown. If that ball is thrown,
I mean, he could go out like that. Like, I've seen him make catches like that.
Yes, I understand that. But that's after grabbing Calvin Joseph. But if it's thrown accurately, that's an interception by Calvin Joseph.
I mean, maybe Devontae Smith goes up and gets the ball. You never know.
But
yeah, maybe let's say Devontae doesn't get it. Yeah, it's an interception. But I'm just saying maybe Devontae Smith does go up and get the ball. But it's still a bad throw.
I understand that. But what I'm telling you is that Devontae Smith got locked down in college by Calvin Joseph. And what I'm also saying is, what I'm not saying is that because of those 2 plays, that now Calvin Joseph is going to lock down Devontae Smith forever. But like I said, you, on the other hand, because of one play in the NFL,
we just show it one time.
What?
Can we just show one time you just watching Devontae Smith and the Eagles green just go against Calvin Joseph in the NFL?
Okay, hold on.
I just want to see it one time.
Let me see if they have it.
Devontae Smith breaking the Sean Jackson rookie receiver. I'll pull it up. Type in Devontae Smith breaking the rookie receiver.
Okay, let me wait till I get to that play because I found. Oh no, that's week 16. That is That is not the Eagles. I don't see anything here against the Eagles.
Type in Devontae Smith and Calvin Joseph. I'll pull up.
I did.
Type in NFL. You did?
I did. It's not. There's nothing showing up
Hold
on that.
because I just saw it. Hold on. Let me,
I mean, I'm seeing a whole highlight of weeks 18, but I'm not trying to see the whole highlight of that. But yes, I do remember the play. I do remember him spinning around Calvin Joseph. Yes, I know that. But just because based off that one play does not mean that forever and always Devontae Smith is going to get owned. I mean, not Devontae Smith. Calvin Joseph is going to get owned by Devontae Smith. I'm not gonna lie, I see what you mean. He's ECG with talking to a brick wall because it does feel like that. Yes, guys, it does. It does feel like that. I think I got more gray hairs. Though he left again, but I don't even know if I'm gonna. I got 10 minutes. And I'm fucking getting off this shit because I got a headache from hell trying to talk. My brain hurts too, guys. My brain hurts too. You have no idea. Let me link the source again. Okay.
you see it?
Okay, yeah, I see it. Hold on.
Sorry, it wasn't against Calvin Joe. I had to find it on there.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Breaks Eagles. Okay, so it's Calvin Joseph breaks. I'm sorry. Hold on. What is it? DB. Breaks. What is it?
I sent it to you onto your Twitter.
Yeah. But I'm gonna bring it up. Here.
All right.
Okay, so I have it here. I'll share my screen yet again so you can see.
I appreciate that.
Uh-huh. Okay, is it sharing? Can you see?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. Does it show the
Yeah,
replay? Okay, here we go.
I think so. Whoops.
Yeah, but did you see him push off? I
I thought that
mean,
was.
I'm
Let
not
me
saying it
see it
wasn't
again.
a good move. It was legal because
Mm.
of there's no flagging. He didn't extend his arm, but still, boom, pushed him twice.
I mean, is that enough to call a foul? You think?
No, it's not because he didn't extend his arm.
But-
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
it's not a flag because his
Mhm.
arm didn't get extended, but he
I know
did.
that,
I mean, that is a push.
but it wasn't enough to call a flag. So I mean,
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
It's a whatever play, but I'm telling you, like,
So he won that match. I mean,
yeah, one match, great, but
no, you didn't show the rest. You didn't show the rest. He had more catches in that game.
yeah, but not against Joseph.
I believe he had one more.
Okay, hold on, I haven't. Hold on, let me go back and let's reshare it.
If he didn't, then that's my fault. But I know he had at
Maybe he
least
did
one
have
more.
one more. Let's see. Hold on.
He did have one more.
Is it showing? Okay.
And that was a good. That was the way he was able to create separation was pretty cool. And I didn't say he was burning them downfield. I just said he was able to get to like he did his job. He beat
Mm-hmm.
him that play.
I mean, it was a comeback route. Yeah, he just stopped and.
The way like you know what I'm saying. That's why I say like are you know what I'm saying? So I expect him to do the exact same thing. Not I'm not saying he's going to torture. I'm just saying he's going to get better as a route runner. That's what you saw, a glimpse of what he's in his rookie year. I expect him to keep on doing what he did. I mean, I don't expect him to. I mean, Joseph is going to have some of his battles. He's going to win some battles. Devontae's going to win some battles. I don't think he's going to kill Joseph. I think Joseph will have one game where he'll lock him down, and there'll be another game where Devontae Smith has his day. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be back and forth, obviously. But I'm excited because I think there's going to be a battle, and I'm excited for that. But like I said, if I have to lean on someone to win the match, it would be Devontae Smith off the fact he had 1 year of experience. I'm not saying Joseph is trash. I didn't say that. I said Anthony Brown was trash, and I said Lewis is trash. But I think Joseph is a good corner. I think he's going to be all right. I just don't think he's going to lock down Devontae Smith every time. And I think he'll lock down one time, but I think Devontae Smith's going to be a handful. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I never said Calvin Joseph.
I didn't say you did. I was just explaining what I meant.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna head on here in a few minutes, but I appreciate you for stopping by, bro. And
I appreciate you for letting me come on and try to, talk without figure out what was going on and let me explain what I was trying to say. I appreciate that because you easily could have said no and just roast me all day, or get people. But the fact that you allowed me to do that, I appreciate that. But I definitely work on those things.
I wanted to continue this talk because you were saying certain things. I don't care, but when you say certain things and then you lie about what you say because
I ain't lie. I just don't remember sometimes when I say it. It's not
okay.
I'm not trying.
But regardless, you say things and then you keep saying things after. Yes, I'm making videos because you put yourself in that position for me to keep doing that.
Or do you just
and things you do?
Or do you just think it's fun to make videos about?
First of all, I'm bored. Look.
I would be bored too. The Cowboys talk. There's nothing to talk about.
Look. You sit here and say that I don't make Cowboys content, yada yada, whatever, which I do a lot. But it's the off season. There's not much to talk about.
You can talk about Deebo Samuel going to Dallas.
You what?
You can talk about Deebo Samuel possibly going to Dallas.
That's not going. That's not going to happen. Two,
I think he will.
I'm not one for talking about OTAs and training camp and all that because to me, again, it's practice. Yes, does it translate on the field? It does, but I'm not one to talk about that kind of stuff because I'm more about the gameplay than actual training camp and everything else. I'm not here to talk about that kind of stuff. And right now there's really nothing to talk about. Like with you do your lives and you basically talk about the same stuff. And
there's your nothing channel. To talk about with the Eagles. I'm not going to talk about OTAs. There's nothing.
No, I understand that. And I'm just saying, it's your channel. You do whatever you want. I'm not making fun at this point. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm just saying you get on your lives and you basically talk about the same things over and over and over because there's really nothing to talk about. Other guys talk about certain things and rumors and here, this and that and the third, whatever.
I could talk about it, but it's what's the point of doing it? I know my team's not going to go out and get JC Bates. They already said they believe in Tavon Wallace.
Just like me, I know my team's not going to go out and get Deebo Samuel, but yet you're over here telling me I should.
I think if Dak Prescott doesn't produce, let's say Dak Prescott struggles to find receivers wide open, I think it could be a possibility. And I'm gonna tell you why.
But Deebo,
it sounds crazy because they probably can't afford it, but I think Debo's going to want to. If he likes Dak Prescott, he's going to find. Listen, he might want to take a cheap option just to come to Dallas. You never know. He might want to be just traded and maybe take less money. I don't know. Depends how Deebo feels. But if you need receiver help, you're not going to keep the exact same thing. You're eventually going to have to make a move. And that's why I said by the trade deadline, I expect it because I just don't think CeeDee Lamb is going to we thought listen, people telling me Calvin Ridley's the number one, and I told them they weren't. He wasn't, and people told me I was a clown for that. And look, he never translated to number one receiver. He never did. I just we don't know what CeeDee Lamb is at the NFL level. We know he was in college, but NFL level is totally different. He's going against these Ramses, J.J. Alexanders, these cornerbacks that get paid big bucks to lock down number ones. He doesn't have Amari Cooper, where Amari Cooper was I'm not saying they didn't game plan for CeeDee Lamb, but he wasn't the total guy that they were focused on. They would go game playing against Dak and Amari. Obviously they'll game play on CeeDee Lamb because he's part of the team. But their number one receiver was Amari Cooper. And now you don't have that route running technique receiver. You got a guy that really hasn't played at number one. He's really a number two who's going to translate into the number one. I just we're gonna find out what he is, but I just don't see CeeDee Lamb, especially from number two, where he used to go against the Nelsons, these number two corners to the number ones, where they're gonna put a lockdown corner on him. But it's gonna be interesting what we see. But I think Dak's gonna struggle because he hasn't, like, before the Amari Cooper, he was what, 7-9, wasn't he? 7-9. 7-9 before the 17 season. It was 7-9 because it was 16 games at the time, and he did struggle.
The year before Amari Cooper?
Before Amari Cooper was traded to Dallas, what was Dak's record with
that year? Because he was traded mid-season.
He was traded in 18, right? Wasn't he, to the Dallas Cowboys? Because that's when
Yeah.
y'all swept us. I remember that because I didn't go to school
Yes,
for half
but-
a week because Cowboy fans were in school, so I remember that.
But when so in 18 the Cowboys went 10-6, and that's when we.
And Dak got better off the fact that Amari Cooper was his number one dude, and he could rely on him, right? His passing got better, and that's why I say, why can't Jalen Hurts not get better just having an AJ Brown? If Amari Cooper made so much big difference for Dak, he made him better as a quarterback, right? Dak was getting better as a passer just having Amari Cooper on his team, and now you give Jalen Hurts a weapon like that.
Well, let's be real here. Dak Prescott. Well, the Cowboys thought that Dak Prescott could do wide receiver by committee, that we didn't need a big name wide receiver, because before that we had Dez Bryant. And then we tried to go with Cole Beasley, Allen Hurns, and Cobb, and I don't know who else. And it wasn't working, so that's why we went out and traded for Cooper.
The same way we and that's why I say, is Dak going to be better without Amari Cooper? I mean, Amari Cooper has been his guy, and now you're relying on a first round pick that hasn't been the number one.
Well, Amari Cooper was his guy until last year, when he didn't. I mean, he got targets, but he wasn't targeted like he normally had been over the past few years. Because let me see, Amari Cooper last year. I mean, he was targeted 104 times. It may not seem like a lot, but that's because 3 games he was targeted. The first game he was targeted 17 times against Miami. When it was Cooper Rush, he was targeted 13 times, and then 11 times against Washington. So 104 times. If you take out those 13, what is that? 91 times he was targeted. If you take out that the Minnesota game. So, and then in years past, let me see, what was he in 2020? Dak didn't. 130 times with Andy Dalton, 119 times in 2019. So, I mean, he was his guy, and you just see his targets fall off as the years go on.
I mean, he was getting the best corner on him. I mean, when you first
he's
got
always
him,
had the best corner on him because he was the number one wide receiver everywhere.
Yeah, but when he played against the Eagles, we didn't have a Darius Slay. We had, who did we have? Didn't we have Rasul Douglas on him? We have Rasul Douglas on him, and we got a third string practice squad corner that we brought from the practice squad to put on him. You know what I'm saying? And we got torched. Until Darius Slay came, and Amari Cooper was burning us. And he's a guy that I think is going to be a big problem for teams. And he's going to be a big problem. He's going to be a big target, just like he was for Dak for Watson, definitely. I don't think it's washed. I just think he needed new scenery because, you only could get open so much. But if your quarterback is let's be real, there was many times where Dak overthrew Amari sometimes, or Dak would overthrow receivers or underthrow receivers. I mean, the Raiders game, for example, he had a chance to win in overtime. He throws it to the receiver's knees. I mean, he throws it right to the receiver. That's a first down. They're probably winning that game. Don't you agree?
That was against Noah Brown, and that was to Noah Brown, and that was against the Raiders.
Yeah, but if he throws it accurately, do they win that game? I think they do.
I mean, we don't know. I mean, it moves the chain, and it gives them a better chance. Yes.
And then that's probably when they would probably go down for Amari Cooper to see if he would get that big catch that would definitely move the chains in, or at least a field goal or a scoring position. Because I mean, like I said, I mean those are the games I was talking about where I said Dak, when people tell me he's a good quarterback, I say, well, good quarterbacks make those plays.
Yeah.
Look at Jimmy G. He might not have the money, but he's been to an NFC Championship. He's been to a Super Bowl. He never won it, but I take him any day over Dak in the playoffs. If you give me Jimmy G with that Cowboys team, I think he could have taken far with that team. I mean, with that defense, with the receiving core they had, he might not be a great quarterback, but he's serviceable and he's a good backup to have.
Well, Dak Prescott is serviceable. I mean, Jimmy G.
But is he really?
Jimmy G in the playoff game against Dallas only threw for 172 yards.
He ripped them apart.
Threw the ball 25 times and had
Mhm.
16 completions.
But he's been to an NFC Championship, right? He's been past the divisional round.
Super Bowl, yeah.
Dak hasn't been past the divisional round, and he's in his 7th year, and yet you paid him like a quarterback to get you there. You know what I'm saying? And that's my issue. Is that I know what Jimmy G is. I know he can get me to the promise, and the problem is he can't win it. But I think it was more of Kyle Shanahan, but I'm going to put it on Jimmy G because I don't blame coaches. I blame Jimmy G because Jimmy G had many times where he could have won it. And also you're going against Patrick Mahomes, but there was many times they had the lead and they blew. That was Jimmy G. But I seen Jimmy G take his team to a Super Bowl. I said, Matt Ryan been to a Super Bowl, and Dak, he's a guy that needs everything around him.
This is why I don't think the way you think, because by your logic, you're saying Trent Dilfer, right? I think if I'm getting the quarterback correctly.
Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl with the backup MVP.
Trent Dilfer in 2000 was a horrible quarterback,
but he won a Super Bowl.
The Ravens, and
he won a Super Bowl, didn't he?
The defense won.
But he still won the Super Bowl. He got credit. He still got his Super Bowl ring, did he?
No, I understand that. But that's what I'm saying. By your logic, so who would you rather have as your franchise quarterback? Trent Dilfer, or would you have Dak Prescott?
Dak Prescott, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wasn't around enough to see what Trent Dilfer is.
You weren't even born yet when Trent Dilfer was playing.
Yeah, so I'm not going to pretend like I didn't see him. I didn't know how he played.
But that's what I'm saying. By your logic, just because someone gets to a certain part in the NFL,
but I take Nick Foles over him.
Well, depending on where you're putting Nick Foles, because Nick Foles
in the playoffs
only ever did well, point blank period, when he was in an Eagles uniform. When he went to any other team, he played like trash, straight up. And I will say that all day.
Yeah, I mean, and he also hasn't played a full season, but when I needed him in the playoffs, he came clutch for me. And I would take if I had to pick a quarterback for the Cowboys that I could rely on, it'd be Nick Foles over Dak, because I know what he can do for me. But then again, you did say that he has been the Eagles quarterback. Maybe he would succeed with the Dallas Cowboys, but hey, Jimmy G could definitely see with the Dallas Cowboys what they have. But Nick Foles succeeded with the Eagles because he was able to take them. But I would think Jimmy G would be more successful with Dallas Cowboys, what they have. That elite defense, right? It helped Jimmy G in the 49ers that year in, what was it, 19? Was it 19? Yeah, there was 19 because I wanted to beat them because I thought we could beat that 49ers team in 19. So with the running game, which they have a running game in Dallas, right? Zeke, Pollard. And then you have that receiving core. Amari Cooper at the time. You had a CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Cedric Wilson. You're telling me that Jimmy G couldn't win those playoff games? I think he would have been way different with the Dallas Cowboys team. And, I don't think Dak's offense was all that bad. I think there were some things that were bad about the offense, but I don't think it was enough where it could affect them. I think Jimmy G would have been a very good, game manager that could deliver at least an NFC championship to the Dallas Cowboys, just because I saw what he did with the 49ers. I mean, without Jimmy G, I don't think the 49ers get to a Super Bowl. We want to give
Jimmy G was hurt in 2018 when the Cowboys had went to the playoffs.
He tore his ACL. I'm talking about 2019.
2019? Didn't he get hurt again?
No,
No, he went to the Super Bowl that year.
he went to the Super Bowl. And then 2020, where did he go? Did they make the playoffs that year?
In 2020?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I think they did, didn't they? I don't
no,
know. The double check. They
no,
didn't make it, but they made it.
no, because he got hurt again in
Okay, so he got hurt
2020.
again.
Yes.
So 2021, did they make the playoffs again?
Yeah, they
I
beat
mean,
us.
yeah, but he's been to a Super Bowl. He's been to an NFC Championship game.
Yes, but that goes to what we were just saying a second ago. Just because you're a quarterback that gets to a Super Bowl doesn't mean that you're the reason. Like I said, Trent Dilfer on the Ravens, that defense was a historic defense, and they were the reason why that team got to a Super Bowl. I mean, you heard Shannon
But I've
Sharp
seen
say
Jimmy
he
G
was on
make
that
some
team.
clutch throws when he had to. When Dak needs to make those throws in games, he struggles. For example, the Raiders game, Jimmy G makes that throw. He makes that throw because I've seen him in clutch moments make those throws. Now he makes some bad throws, obviously, but he knows he's a game manager. He's not going to want to get paid like a franchise quarterback. He knows his limits. Jimmy G can make clutch throws when he has to. He'll put it on the money. And he does a lot for his team. People don't give him credit, but I think Jimmy G is more successful for the 49ers than – because look at it. If they lose Jimmy G, who do they rely on? Trey Lance? Is Trey Lance really going to be all that?
They're about to start relying on Trey Lance.
Are they going to be that exact same team? Because I just don't see it. I think Jimmy
no
G is a very important piece to that 49ers team. Without him, I don't know how the 49ers would get back there, because Trey Lance, to me, is a guy that – what? I mean, he hasn't played all season. And Jimmy G is a very good, serviceable quarterback to have, especially if you're the Dallas Cowboys who loves game managers. You love running the ball. Jimmy G thrives on that. You know what I'm saying? He thrives on that. I know.
Before I go, I'm going to say this. Dak Prescott had 4,484 yards. And then last year. And
in the
37.
Playoffs?
No, in the regular season, dude.
Again, regular season stats. I'm talking about playoff wins.
But in the playoffs, he had 230 some odd yards.
And lost. 1-3 in the playoffs.
They lost. Okay, that's fine. I get it. 1-3 in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But you're saying that you don't care about regular season stats,
I don't.
right?
Don't.
Okay.
If that's the case, can we compare Kirk Cousins' stats to Dak? Because Kirk Cousins is good in regular season. Is he good in the playoffs? No, he's not.
He almost got a team to a Super Bowl.
Who?
Kirk Cousins.
When?
When they got destroyed by y'all?
That was Case Keenum.
Or Case Keenum. When was it? When they –
Kirk Cousins was the following year they signed to a big contract, and he still hasn't won a playoff game. Well, he's been to a playoff game. He just hasn't won a divisional round. He has one playoff win just like Dak Prescott. Look up Kirk Cousins' playoff win. He won with the Washington. Wait, does he have two playoff? No, he has one.
2018. He was in Miami. When was that?
No,
when they played New Orleans, and they had that miracle comeback.
That was Case Keenum. Case Keenum threw to Diggs.
Okay, that was okay.
Mm-hmm. That was against Drew Brees. That's when what's the safety that I won.
You're right. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? That was him. No, Kirk Cousins I think won a playoff game with the Washington at the time Redskins with Deshaun Jackson. Remember you like that? Remember that dude?
I don't think that was in the.
That was Kirk Cousins. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that was in the playoffs.
How many playoff wins does Kirk Cousins? He has one, right?
Hold on. I gotta look.
Didn't he beat the 49? Didn't he beat the? I think he beat. Who did he beat? No, he beat someone. Hold on. How many playoff wins does Kirk Cousins have?
Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins only been in the playoffs one time. That was in 2015.
Did he win one?
Hold on. Let me see. I don't think so. They went 9-7.
I thought that year they wait. Hold up. Kirk Cousins. Yeah.
No, they lost. They lost to Green Bay. I don't even think Kirk Cousins has won a playoff game.
So he hasn't won a playoff game.
No.
But so what about the 49ers? The 49ers did beat Kirk Cousins, didn't they?
Yes.
No, but they won. Didn't Redskins take them? Didn't the year? I think that was when the Giants were irrelevant too. The 16. Didn't they go to the playoffs with Kirk Cousins with Deshaun Jackson? I know they won one playoff game. I think
2016. 2016, the Cowboys and the Giants went to the playoffs.
Redskins went to the playoffs. I remember.
Bro, in 2016, that's when we drafted Zeke and Dak, and we went.
No, not 16. Not 16. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Not 16. What was it?
2015, the Washington Redskins went 9-7 and lost to Green Bay in the playoffs.
No, it was the Giants who lost it. That was a Hail Mary game. Eli Manning, remember he got destroyed by Aaron Rodgers?
No. The only Hail Mary game that I remember by Eli Manning was the Super Bowl.
Aaron Rodgers versus that's when Odell Beckham was on the cruise. Remember that one when Aaron Rodgers lit him up?
That was 2016, bro. That was 2016 in the wild card. Because the Cowboys had won their division and they had the number 1 seed. So they had the division round.
So then I'm thinking of 2014. Then the Washington Redskins won it in 2014. Because they
Washington Redskins did not make the playoffs. The only time they made the playoffs with Kirk Cousins was 2015, and they lost to Green Bay.
I mean, they still made the playoffs. They didn't win it, but they still made it. Right?
No, they did.
They didn't win it, but they made the playoffs today. That's all I'm saying.
No,
they didn't win one, but they made the playoffs.
No, because we haven't had a back-to-back divisional leader since 03, 04. And 2014, I forget. I don't know who won that year, but it wasn't Washington because Washington won it in 2015.
So they won the division. They lost to Green Bay.
In 2015, yes.
So Kirk Cousins has 0 playoff wins.
Yes.
So Dak has 1 playoff win other than Kirk Cousins.
Yes. But man,
but in regular season, Kirk Cousins would be called a elite quarterback because we talk about regular stats. I mean, playoff wins still. I mean, yeah, Dak has 1 playoff win, but in regular season stats, you could technically say Kirk Cousins is a regular season stat quarterback, and he has good stats. My logic is that if you're going to do regular stats, then Kirk Cousins should be up there. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why I brought playoff. It should be regular season stats.
Kirk Cousins only touched anything close to Dak Prescott. Well, I mean, whatever you call close, but was in 2016, and that was Dak Prescott's rookie season when Kirk Cousins, and when he played for Washington his last year, threw almost 5,000 yards. That was it.
Kirk Cousins was dominating Washington. He was really good in Washington. Should stay there.
And Dak Prescott almost had 5,000 yards in 2019. But Kirk Cousins has been around a lot longer than Dak Prescott. So, but anyway, man, I'm heading out of here, dude. I got to go take a shower and I got to go to bed, man.
No problem. I appreciate you for having me.
Yes, sir. All right, man. You have a good one later. Okay. That's over with. I'm not going to knock the dude after he just came on here, but I will tell you that was a headache. That was a headache. But, wanted to have him on, wanted to keep that argument going. He settled down quite a bit. He wasn't playing dumb so much the way Simons was saying that he was making me upset on purpose. I actually don't think he was. So, but, all right, guys. Let's see. I need this gone. This here. Let's make sure nothing fucking pops up. Yep, I hate that shit. And this can go because I don't need this. But, all right, guys. I appreciate everyone for coming in and having a great time while we're doing this. But I am out of here.